available at the Dix Division Prepper Warehouse, the latest in summertime fashion, the all-new Culture Casino brand banana hammocks and slingshots. With sizes ranging from Extra Jed to Culture's Yeti Arm to Drew's Suspension Bridge, you'll feel comfortable no matter your size or location. Stop by Thursday and get a 20% discount on all banana hammock hand cannon hangers. Open late Monday and Thursday on Comics Division's channel.
Folks, and a hearty welcome to our drive-in theater. We have a wonderful evening's entertainment lined up for you, one that will provide several hours of pleasurable relaxation and diversion for you and your family. Did you fail to dress up for tonight's show? No tie, an old shirt and slacks, a house dress? Well, don't give it a thought. We're glad you came as you are. We just want you to enjoy yourselves. Don't forget to visit our refreshment center during the intermission or any time. You love the tasty array of snacks we have to offer. So will the youngsters. Everything is quality and so good. We hope you'll make this a weekly visit. Bring the family. Bring your friends. There are always wonderful new pictures to see, delightful snacks to nibble, a gay, pleasant evening for all. Oh, a word of caution. Don't drive over 10 miles an hour in the theater area for your safety's sake. And Mom or Pop, go with the kids when they leave the car. We hope you have a wonderful time. Come back soon.
You can thank Chris Mead for that lovely movie theater stuff that he found on archive.org. It was absolutely amazing.
That was awesome.
Yeah. It was pretty funny. I was thinking, oh, yeah, I have a nice family-friendly intro for Father Miller tonight. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I left that in, didn't I?
Yeah. Father, we're really sorry, but you're going to need to pray for all of us.
I'll bring the holy water next week.
I'm not sure that's going to be enough.
Oh, no. He's going to spray it on me and watch me burst in the flames.
No, I was going to do that on Ryan. I even told him.
Yeah, that would be funny, actually.
I even told him I was going to do it.
Yeah, I think probably out of all of us, Ryan's probably the worst offender.
But he gave me a hug. When I first met him, he gave me a hug.
With my username? I might be the most blasphemous one here. And my musical proclivities.
So how you doing, Father Miller?
I'm doing pretty good. No, I've been getting back into streaming. It's good to be back. Happy to be back into Big Town. As I think I told you, my last assignment was in the middle of what I call Siberia, where the nearest Best Buy was a 2.5-hour drive.
Wow.
So, yeah, it took a toll on me. So I am pretty excited to be back in the big city. I'm going to be teaching this fall, so I won't be able to make the Vegas get-together. But
okay.
Again, things are good. Things are awesome.
So, I mean, how often do you get, like, switch posts, I guess?
Well, my situation was a little bit different this year just because, as I tell people, and I even mentioned on my stream, I was depressed.
Yeah.
I mean, I was basically isolated for 4.5 years and again, it's not that I'm like around nobody, but there was nothing going on. I'm an extrovert. I have to have people around. 4.5 years took a toll on me. So normally it's about 5 to 6 years. I made it 4.5 with this one. So.
Okay. Well, yeah, I can understand why that'd be rough, especially being an extrovert. So, but I imagine being a priest, you kind of have to be an extrovert.
Not really.
Not really.
You'd be surprised. A lot of us. So we took the Myers-Briggs personality test when I was in the SEM, and I came back 50-50.
Huh. Okay.
So I'm half introvert, half extrovert. I like being around people. But I also like secluding myself. But like I said, 4.5 years of isolation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're 100% nerd, and that's good enough.
Oh yeah. Totally. Hey, that's why my channel's the Nerd Father. As I told comics, I tell people I'm here as a nerd that happens to be a priest.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
And we love you for it, man.
Thank you.
Marksman.
And all comics is your mom. I need you to come back to the factory. Stewie fell into the chocolate press.
I can't understand what the hell you're saying, dude.
What the fuck was that?
That was his voice.
Double audio.
Yeah, it was also getting double audio, but yeah.
Ah, damn. Yeah, the audio situation on that thing is very weird. It's really hard to fix.
But yeah, he's trying to be the Keebler leader.
I mean,
Keebler administrator or whatnot.
Why try? Comics already has that sewn up.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, how you doing, Marksman? What have you been up to? I'm
doing good. I'm doing great. Just watching studios and the guys being idiots with the whole Morbius fiasco. And I learned with talking to one of the friends, a girl I know recently who's like very big in the comics. And it really says like how slowly we're reaching out, because I did not expect her to bring this up. And it was how she even approached me. She tried to do it slowly, like roundabout, because even like she knows, like you say this to the wrong people, they lose their shits. She's a fan of Critical Drinker. She started watching him recently the past couple of weeks.
Okay.
And we were just talking about like all the stuff, and she's like, yeah, it's amazing, because I would try to bring this up to some of the other friends, and they're like, what, don't you think that the diversity matters, all this other stuff matters, representation, female character? She's like, yeah, but not like this. Like she was said, it's like, she was telling me, it's like, I see how they write women, and every single chick, I'm like, what the hell's wrong with these people? They're not girls, they're freaking dudes at best. No, they just don't seem like humans.
They're badly written men.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just how things are done these days, unfortunately. But you know how it goes.
Yeah.
So, Lightning 6, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How y'all doing tonight?
Good.
Good.
Very good.
No, let's see. As I mentioned earlier, doing a bunch of gardening and some other things, and trying to get my small business off and running over at Shopify. And other than that, just watching a lot of YouTube videos and working my day job, really.
That's good. What are you trying to garden?
Tomatoes and potatoes. I spent all day replanting the potatoes because they were just in way too small of a container. So I got that mostly taken care of until a thunderstorm showed up about 5 o'clock. And pretty much ended all that.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, yeah.
I've been using they like 20 or 25 gallon 20 gallon grow bags. Wow, that was impressive, Chris. Not Chris. Yeah, Reuben.
Good
okay.
boy.
Yes.
He went off screen so quickly. I was like, who am I talking? Who's burping again?
Well, yeah. I'm surprised it wasn't me, but hey, anyway. I've been doing. This is my first year because we just moved in December down here in Florida. So it's like, I was just kind of curious to see what we could get away with up here for the first year, and luckily it's been pretty successful. It's a lot better than what it was when I was up in the Carolinas west. But of course, I was in an apartment there, so I didn't really have any room at all to do any kind of gardening. So
yeah, that's kind of tough.
But I have what they call an entire backside of my house is covered by a bird cage, so we have that. So I basically have it all screened in, so I keep the birds away from the plants, and pretty much the only thing I have to worry about are geckos, and they just eat the bugs anyway. So yeah,
I've been having problems with deer at the ranch when it comes to the
garden there. I can imagine. We're starting to see signs of feral hogs around this development area here. They're starting to get reports of people having their whole backyards just troweled up. But that's our big thing here right now.
Good news is they sell solutions to that problem. It's a 300 Win Mag.
Well, that's a good. Actually, the Win Mag's way over killing it. I mean, you could probably get away with a 1022 from Ruger.
Well,
with a thermal sight, and just watch them drop real quietly and go stiff as they hit the ground.
I mean, if I had my druthers, I'd pick up my 240 again and just go have fun. But
no,
I'm not allowed that.
Wildlife services.
Well, it also depends on where you're at, right? Like where my ranch is at, I could shoot them. Right, that's not
from a helicopter with a machine gun.
Well, not just that. I mean, I could just shoot them. I mean, they're always in season. Axis is also always in season 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
It's whitetail that is seasonal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But access is because they're not native.
Oh.
Is the reason why they're kind of like
you got to purge the invaders.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, the first time I knew that hogs were a major thing was when I took a job down in Destin, Florida. I was working over at Eglin Air Force Base on a contract about 6 years ago, and I just happened to come in on the news at my hotel room, and it was talking about a guy who shot a 350-pound hog that was grazing in broad daylight on some lady's flowers in her house in Laurel Hill, Alabama.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm sitting there going, oh, that's not good. And that's when I first heard about it. I didn't realize how big it was.
These aren't like terribly big. The ones I've seen have not been gigantic. But
Okay.
anyway, how's it going, Pope Metallicus?
Sorry, it's going great, man. I just found out I'm moving to Virginia, so.
Why?
Well, the family's moving down there, and I'm their only child, so I gotta help my parents out.
Okay.
Fair enough.
And I'm honestly glad to be out of Massachusetts. Jesus Christ, do I
Yeah.
hate this
Okay.
state.
Okay. Not a problem.
I love the state. I love its history, but I hate the people who run it.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think you're going to find that Virginia's not far enough south.
Well, I
Because you still
mean,
get snow.
my family has been in this area since about 1640. So
Okay, that's about the same time. my people
Try and
were in
convince them to move to
Tidewater.
West Virginia. West Virginia, I heard, is better.
we're actually
It's actually
right
a nice place. I'd love that.
We're actually on the border of Virginia and West Virginia.
Okay,
We're
all right.
really like the
I don't know if that's
Winchester-
still the case,
we're
but I heard
like the
property in
Winchester
West
area.
Virginia is like really cheap.
It is.
It is, but they also have other
We
issues
just got,
like
we
Yeah.
just bought 44 acres
Nice.
for $700K. So not a bad deal, especially considering our quarter-acre lot up in Massachusetts is worth more than that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just being in Massachusetts, which I don't know why anyone wants to live here. The taxes are horrible.
Yeah. Well, a lot of blue states are like that. Phil McCracken says West Virginia is not a state.
It wasn't
It
a
is
state
never
for a long
pitched
time.
rebellion.
It wasn't until that little gunfight that broke out in Philippines.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, how you doing, Reuben?
I'm okay. I had another. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
You're good.
Hey.
You're
Sorry. Yeah, I had another attack on the first. Ugh.
Oh no, man! Sorry to hear that.
Well, it was really bad. It was one of the. It's the second. It was the second worst ever. So I still don't know what I'm doing. I got to figure this out right now. I got to call. I don't know who to call.
Sorry to hear that, bro.
Ghostbusters.
Well,
Sorry.
well, I'm not trying to bring anybody down. I'm just saying I just
Right,
had to
right.
figure out who to call because I can't really my arm is now like tight. I can't move my arm. Can't talk sometimes. The jaw's all like tightened up and all that stuff, and it's like
Well, that's not great.
That's rough, man. I'm sorry.
and then basically I'll be sitting here what I was doing. I was just asleep, and then I just feel like a death is coming upon me, and then I have to sit up, and then my heart goes from like 90 to 140 in just a matter of seconds and stays at 140 for a couple of hours, and I start shaking violently and I can't stop it, and it's just a big pain, and I don't know if I called 911, and then I basically have to I start rationalizing that if I do that, then I'm screwed, because then again I won't have a phone, I won't have a cord, I won't have to get dressed, I have to do this, I have to do that. So then I just basically say no, I can't call anybody because I have nobody to call. So I'm getting all freaked out. So anyway, but I'm good here. I'm ready for some good fun because, again, Friday Night Tights was amazing. I laughed so hard. I was still in pain, but I watched the whole thing. I was laying down sometimes watching it, and I fell asleep a few times, but it was amazing. You guys are just kicking ass, and it's just really good to see. It's really good to see
I just thought it was
everything
funny
grow.
that Alex Jones kept calling me Rob Zombie.
I know, what was up with that?
He showed up with the shades. And
Yeah, I was wearing my sunglasses, right?
That
So
shit was
Alex was
one
on
of
the show?
funniest things.
Who was Alex?
Alex Jones.
Alex
Yeah.
Jones was on the show. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again.
See, I would look. I was looking for it, and I could not find Friday Night Tights Friday night at all. It was
Really?
like completely dumped out of my feed. And
Well,
I
it was
actually
fun,
even looked
man.
for
He's hilarious.
Oh,
it.
it got to the point where they had to bring in Salty Cracker because he was running a bit, and they're like, "All right, we got to bring in Salty." So while he's at an aquarium, he hopped on the call.
Yeah,
Well,
but
And at that point, everyone went wild.
The crazy
one
thing about it is like I mean I was never a big Salty fan, but I used to watch his videos back in the day.
Mhm.
But I haven't really kept up. There's a lot of YouTubers that I used to watch that I just haven't kept up with.
Yeah,
And Salty's one of them. I remember him getting kicked off, which is stupid.
Mhm.
I don't even remember what he was kicked off for. But yeah,
I just
it's like
remember
wow, dude,
finding
it's
him, like,
it's so weird.
20K, I think.
What's that?
I think I remember when I found him, I think he was around maybe, was it 40 or 50K? Like he hadn't even broke 100 yet. It was still early on. I just saw, what the hell? Somebody's called Salty Cracker. I'm like, this sounds funny. And I just see the title of his video just making fun of freaking like, the hyper progressives. I'm like, okay, this looks funny. Let me check this out. And I just loved it. And next thing I know, I was like, within a year, this guy just blowing up like crazy.
Yeah.
And then I just see YouTube's doing their best hit jobs to take him out. I'm like, God damn.
Well, they eventually won, so.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's why Razor's still here, is because he just built his audience organically over the course of a decade. And he's never really like attracted the ire of Mama Susan, shall we say?
Yeah, I don't. That whole thing is, it's weird.
Well, a good chunk of it, I think, is because you look at Susan, especially you watched a few YouTube videos you try to put out, or some of even like the interviews or stuff here on YouTube.
And she
She's
gets
a
fucking
complete
ratioed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not
Yeah,
that. She's not a business person in any sense. Like she's literally a random person that got plucked, stuck as a CEO. She's a complete figurehead. It's as simple as that. The bosses are the ones at Google. They're the ones that tell her what comes down, and she just implements. Why it's pointless to talk to her. I'm like, having a line of Susan, interacting with her and all this stuff doesn't mean shit because she's not in charge. She has no authority, and she doesn't know how to do anything.
And
she doesn't know what
she
company
knows
she's
she
running.
doesn't. That's the best part, is she knows she's a fucking puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see it with the way she talks.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of what they're trying to do is that this is something that Facebook has done, which is basically go, please, Big Daddy government, come and regulate us. We don't want to be held accountable for not enforcing our rules or enforcing our rules or vaguely enforcing our rules.
Well, that's the whole point. Back before the Patriot Act happened, right after the 9/11 happened, I should say. That's when they basically started to collude with the government, letting them know what they could do for them to get favor with them. So all the data, and then they basically said, "Okay, we'll come back to you when we need you."
Yeah, they had ways to bypass the publisher
gets.
protections or whatever you call them. Like
One
basically
at a time, guys. One at a time.
All right.
Toxic Man Flu. How you doing?
Oh, boss, I'm here. I called in sick to Pope Metallic's stream. We were going to do a Southern Rock one today, but I have been down and out for about a week.
That sucks, man.
So is the whole family. So, but I got tested. It is not a flu or COVID. It is some other virus.
That's really weird.
Yeah. No, well,
unnamed cooties.
Viruses have been around for an extremely long time.
Yes, they have.
Yes, I've heard.
Most of them, believe it or not, come from meteors, from extrastellar space, and they aerosol in the air, and that's why most viruses come from birds. Well, it's not a little-known fact. It's a well-known fact in the virology world, but
right.
Yeah, that's why most of the avians and things and stuff like that. So most of the viruses we have come from off planet. That's why we can't fight them off. So we've never really been able to eradicate a virus, but that's what our body's T cells do. And it's a foreign DNA. They don't know it, blah, 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 go from there. So, but they have to transfer over. Gain of function is what they have to do and overcome. I don't know if anyone's heard that term
Once or twice
What
in the
I
last 2
mean.
years.
So
Right.
one of my ranch
Couple of
neighbors, he's former military, and we're talking about gain of function. He's like, yeah, that's a very fancy word for weaponization.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So, but I'm here feeling a little better. My pulse ox was down to 94. You want it to be around 98, 99. So,
God damn, dude.
yeah. Well, no, if it drops below 90, you've got problems.
Big time.
Well, if it,
yeah,
if
from
it goes below 94, you've got problems.
See,
Well, I've got
comics,
some other things that's affecting my my oxygen mix out there as well that will get fixed here soon. But
Comics
I'm up,
knows that.
I'm around.
I was
I'm
going
glad
to
you're
say,
okay,
Comics knows about my health incident last fall. What I thought was the Rona turned out to be a pulmonary embolism,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
blood
that's
clots in
right.
the lungs. I have no clue how that happened. I'm seeing the blood.
Well,
doctor
that's
this
the
week.
weird thing. Blood clots
But-
in lungs can happen. It's just real.
But
I mean,
my oxygen after the Saturday night mass was down to 89.
Yeah.
I thought it was COVID.
Jeez.
wow.
That's when you know you got something.
Well,
I mean,
that's when
the
I
one
went
thing
to
with
get tested.
the one thing with COVID that is of all the symptoms that's true, you lose your sense of taste and smell. With it's COVID, that's what it is. It's gone, and
Which
you
Which
don't
is
get
sad
those.
for me because I already lost most of that.
Well, yeah, because of what you went through, but but that's the one symptom that kind of separates it from others, that sense of taste and smell. So, but yeah, I'm feeling better from there. But yeah, it wasn't anything I could have gotten a vaccine for or any of that kind of stuff. So,
Oh man, that's crazy.
I'm glad
It's
you're
still
okay.
weird that they don't know what it is. That's just,
there's so many viruses out there that they just don't know. And that's the great thing of the human body. Now, whether you believe that we are created by God or you believe that we evolved over millions of years,
Or both.
or both. I mean, we all know the Earth's only about 6,000 years old here, okay? So because that's when the Magrathians built it for the mice in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But the body and what it can do to fight viruses and disease is amazing. And to grab something it doesn't know, and as long as you can stay alive long enough for your body to figure it out, it will find a way to defeat it.
Yep.
And that's we haven't been able to replicate that in any way. But it's an amazing thing that we have, our bodies. And as Reuben knows, as I know, as others, when you start having it fight against you, and you kind of lose that all the faculties and stuff, it really sucks.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, some of the things that are just amazing, like with Stone Age peoples when they're doing trepanning and just seeing. I mean, they found skulls that have trepanning done and how they were healing back. It's just crazy. And my cat's on the desk. Hello, Tabitha.
Hello.
Hello,
I mean,
Kat.
my cat's on the desk too. I guess
I don't
that
think anyone wants
this
to
division
cat
just
ass, though.
attacks.
Yeah, like you look at the Aztecs, how they were doing brain surgeries back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what trepanning was. I mean,
And it actually kind of sort of worked.
yeah. No, it absolutely did work. That's the thing that's so crazy about it. And we're talking about, Stone Age technology, and they figured out a way to drill into someone's skull. And usually this was done because of concussions and relieving pressure on the brain, right? Because of brain swelling. But this is just how amazingly smart humans are. That they figured out if they cut a hole in someone's skull, it will relieve the pressure from, the brain swelling, and then over time the skull would start to, to grow back and heal. And the fact that they were doing this with stone tools, without damaging the membrane that covers the brain, and people lived. No
And don't forget, they were replacing the parts of the skull, as they said. That's why they found some corpses, especially among the higher rank Aztecs, like nobility priests. They had gold plates in parts of their skulls because they were like, all right, remove this plate. What do we do? Well, we can't put a piece of metal because that'll be too heavy. But if you take gold, which is metal, but you can make it very thin, you get a perfect patch where it's strong enough. It's going to plug the hole, but not so heavy. It's going to fall onto the brain.
And gold is also very soft, so it's easy to work.
I didn't know about the Maya doing that, or sorry, the Aztecs doing that. But
yeah, I remember learning about that. It was one of the things where they mentioned where it's like it wasn't like very common because of course something like getting a gold plate in your head, it's still a piece of gold, so it's mostly saved for the nobility, upper ranks, priests, or so on. So you didn't see as often, but they're like, yeah, it was cases they found where some skull pieces, corpses would be looted because they're taking the gold plates out of the skull. Because they would find the like bodies of these people buried, and they're like, oh my god, why is this guy have a piece of gold in his skull where a hole is? And they realized, yeah, they were performing brain surgeries and such.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
The funniest part to me is that they had absolutely no idea what they were doing. And
well, I mean, a lot of that was experimentation, right? But eventually they knew what they were doing.
Well, yeah, but they had no idea that they were playing around with the central part of what makes a human.
Well, they didn't know on the technical level. It's sort of like they figured out like the knowledge of how things work, but they didn't know like the actual technical, as you say, physics or so on, biology directly behind it. They just knew these aspects exist. Oh, that was my phone. Exist and do all these things. So if they apply it these ways from what they observed and learned and experienced, they accomplish these things. Like you look at, for example, Leonardo da Vinci, where like him going through, especially going back to the older stuff, like all the way to the Greeks, how people invented things, try to figure out how can you make a man fly. And he created the first helicopter, and it was funny. I remember we were seeing a documentary, they covered it, and they mentioned the design for that helicopter he did, even though it's foot powered, they say is actually sound. The only flaw with it is no human being could generate the amount of energy needed to propel it. But the actual design is functional. So he figured it out.
That was the crazy part with a lot of his designs, was that it had one key flaw. And that's what led people to believe that he intentionally sabotaged most of his designs, like the tank.
The tank, a machine gun.
Where basically it would actually work, but the way he arranged the powering cranks for the manpower, they would actually counter each other. They would actually cancel each other out.
It would
seem fatal. It would just go in a circle at the best.
Yeah,
but I love that he basically sabotaged his own designs because he knew what he did wrong.
That's because Leonardo da Vinci was an alien from the future. Who came back.
Right. You know, we used to say that as a joke, but then Elon Musk became a thing.
Yes, that's right.
So D is asking, I keep forgetting that D is on. This is his Monday. He says, "Could this happen on a Saturday your time, maybe once a month, just so people like me that live in the future can pop in?" We'll figure something out, man. We'll get you back on again. I know you were on that one time, and you haven't been able to make a sense, but we'll work something out. Definitely. So one of the things I was doing, I was doing some prepping today. I canned some pickles that came from my cucumber plant, and I finally got my dehydrator set today, and I dehydrated some apples that actually I think turned out pretty decently. Not fully crispy. They're almost crispy. The bananas were not fully done, so I have them going for like another 2 hours, but overall, I'd say pretty good.
Yeah, along those lines, this is what I've been doing. Basically, we got the industrial grade vacuum storage, and we've been doing that.
What have you been vacuum sealing?
Almonds, beans, dry beans, rice, things like that. Just anything like that. And also, we've been doing meats and vegetables as well. So
it's pretty funny. My wife was like, "So I noticed there's 2 big Lowe's buckets. What's in there?" I was like, "Oh, flour and sugar." She's like, "Okay."
Yep.
Just doesn't even fucking ask questions anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't ask anymore. Because initially, when I first started really getting into this, I thought it was crazy.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened. And we started having the food shortages, and he's like, "I never thought this would happen." I was like, "Yeah, I know. I did. Fortunately, I was thinking ahead."
Yeah, this really gave, I think, a lot of people respect for preppers, because you realize because our system is so complex, it also is so very fragile that one thing could disrupt everything. And then you're just sort of left out to hung out to dry.
Yep. Like Scotty said, the more complicated they make the plumbing, the easier it is to stop up the drain.
That's right.
But they are going to go after preppers very soon.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
they've been basically trying to say they're
Well,
extremists.
Two of the largest food long-term storage food manufacturers were part of this massive rash of food processing plants being destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
This is also why I say everyone should own a long gun and should get training, because
yes,
I have things set up on my gilded I call tactical toolbox of just basic shit that people can learn to not completely be a loot box.
Yeah.
If shit comes down to that.
Yep.
I hope we never need to know it. I hope you guys never need to go through what I went through. But if it's there,
it's frightening, dude. It's really frightening. What's going on? The fact that they're trying to lump preppers into being extremists is, it's frightening, right? Because they don't want people to be self-sufficient. They want, forced reliance on the government.
That's the scariest thing I think about this thing is that nobody's hurting anyone. Like the thing that really triggered me was when they went after body armor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, why are you going after a purely defensive tool?
Don't you remember they did the same thing after Katrina? When they were rescuing people, the first thing they asked him, do you have weapons? And they collected all the guns.
Mm-hmm. But like, especially being able to own body armor, especially level 4, is incredibly interesting, because what the hell am I going to do? Take it out of my vest and beat you with it?
Yeah.
Like it's strictly to protect yourself against rifle caliber fire.
Yeah, but the excuse that they're trying to use is the fact that these dipshits that run around killing people use it, and that's why they're wanting to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And again, they
excuse me, which time was that? And I don't think anybody's ever used it. Did I think of like that? Check.
There weren't guys in L.A.
What's that?
I think it was the last time with the guys in L.A.
97.
Yeah,
97. Yeah, I remember.
I think one of the more recent ones, somebody was using body armor.
Buffalo.
Yeah,
Buffalo. Okay.
Yeah, he was actually using an AR-15 and wearing body armor.
Yeah, but again, going back to the whole thing, everyone who pays attention to the stats knows this. Long gun deaths are like 1%.
Mm-hmm.
A tiny, tiny fraction of all gun crime.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
I went through the numbers on Monday with that. There have only been, since 2018, they consider mass shootings any time where there's a gun involved and 4 people have been injured or killed in any combination, right? So there's over 2,000 instances of that. Since October 2018.
So
2 of them have been over 13. This last one in Uvalde, and in El Paso.
Yeah.
No, there's been 3. There was one more. It's funny, no one mentions it, but they don't call it a mass shooting because there was gang involvement. There were 17 people shot in Sacramento here in California in April, near the end of April.
Oh,
they
yeah,
unloaded into a crowd in broad daylight, shot 17 people.
Isn't that funny how
but of those 17 that were shot, only 10 were killed.
Mm-hmm.
So I was talking about
isn't that funny how gang shootings are counted as gun deaths in one stat, but they don't exist in other crimes?
No, it's because it would make the Democrats look bad. Let's be honest.
But
the funny thing. Okay, so here's one thing. When the president went to go address the nation, he said that basically the leading cause of death in children is gun violence, and it's like, if you actually look at the numbers, they're manipulating it, because what they're saying is a child is age 1 year old to age 19, and they're of course including the gang violence.
Oh,
so,
right.
Yeah, he's back.
Right.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
We can keep doing this dance all.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I mean, it's very manipulative. And again, the other thing they're not addressing is the fact that suicide has risen amongst children.
Yeah, they're
And
not
young
counting
adults.
those deaths.
Yeah,
And that's,
average the rate in various areas because my sister, she works I was like not a x-ray technician, the one like the actual x-ray, I forget what the name of this is, but yeah, she works in the medical field, and some of her friends work in moratoriums. If I can speak right now. But basically, they all said they have been seeing so many people coming in, and a lot of them it said kids and teenagers. So like the suicide rate has effectively doubled in a lot of areas. Well, and that was just through the pandemic. There's also other areas too where I was like, I know because it's Pride Month, which is funny. I know Garrett was talking about this on his stream last night, and it was funny because I'm thinking about it. This is something I've heard, is that we're right now in a fad with like this whole trenders thing, because the LGBT community, it's been destroyed. There is no LGBT community. They are scattered to the wind. It is the trender community. The alphabet people have taken over.
It's the activists and the trenders, I think, probably.
Yeah, they make up the community now. Like the actual gays, lesbian, trans, they're scattered, because remember, they are a small minority. That they acknowledge it. The people coming in, so-called, that want to hop on the trends, who want to support them, that feel good about themselves, they outnumber them drastically. So they are, in a way, screaming up, trying to push back. Like they are, because it's something I even pushed, where I was even talking with my friends, like there needs to be like a gay civil war for them to push out these trenders. And they're like, and he was telling me, because next to the college I went to, we did have a straight gay alliance. And the reason I know about this, because it's right down from the comic book shop, and I played cards with a lot of these guys. And we had this conversation. They all said the same thing. The moment the Q was added onto it, they said that things are going wrong, that there is going to now be an influx of all these new people going in, and it's corrupting and destroying the space, and it's ruining things for them. And I know even the center recently, it's like they've been getting hammered with pressure to open up more non-binary and acknowledge all this other stuff. And they're like, no, there's only 4 letters: gays, lesbians, bisexuals, and trans. That's it. There's nothing else. And they're getting hammered. And a lot of the people there, like they're getting harassed. Everything says, we can't do it no more. They've been basically quitting, essentially. The replacements are this new woke breed, freaking most, as I said, a lot of trenders, whatever. So like the center is essentially all but gone. So it doesn't even represent actual gay people now. And it's the only thing I said, it's like, in a way, it's like, if you want to help push it back, like we got, in a way, save the gays to basically be like, look, these are the so-called people you say you represent. You've battered, beaten, and abused the hell out of them. And all they want is just to live their life in peace, alone from everything.
Yep.
See, I'm not going to really comment on it, but the only thing I would say is look at how the flag has changed.
Oh, God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not only now is it just rainbow, but now there's the trans thing, and now there's like a circle or whatever.
Oh, the P, yeah.
My favorite.
They want to erase the gay, and this is what I'm getting to. Is
somebody did a joke recently about the whole thing. It's like your Pride flag subscription. It's like anytime it changes.
Babylon B did that.
Yeah, Babylon B.
The Pride Plus, but no, this is what I was telling, because this comes into the thing is, a lot of this is built on the trans community. They've abused that one to make this fracturing, and this is what it's going to lead to. And why at the end of the day, I say this is ultimately a temporary problem. And why I say that is this: the conversation I had with actual trans people, and this how they even broke it down to me, is one thing I greatly believe this is. Most people who think they're trans are not actually trans. He said there's a lot of mental illness. There's actual gender dysphoria, where it's like you have issues with your body, just how your body presents. You're not somebody who's like thinks they're in a different body. It says you need to do so much filtering till you can finally hit that point, and then you get the actual trans individuals that are very small. And he says, yeah, most of us are self-aware. That's why I say there is no trans person where do you go in there and they say, excuse me, ma'am, be like, excuse me, sir, and they're like, it is ma'am. It's like, no actual trans person will do that, because they're self-aware, because of what you have to go through to reach that point, to reach that self-acknowledgement. And they say the people who get in there, it's why the dissidence rate is so high. It's why the so-called trans suicide rate is so high, is because that suicide rate aren't actual trans people. They're people who's transitioned thinking they were trans when they were not. They needed therapy or some other treatments. They didn't get it, fucked up their bodies. And since you can't go back, what do? They kill themselves. And a lot of these trenders are following in the same footsteps. A lot of these people are going to, as I said, they're going to, what he said to me, are going to end up taking long walks with long drops. I mean, short walks with a long drop.
Yeah, that's terrible. And speaking of our gay representation here, Benjamin Flensborg, he says, oh, I know. He agrees with us. Right now, we are only LGB around here. Sorry about the tease.
Greatness has entered.
What was that, Tox? You cut out.
Greatness has entered the panel.
Oh, yes.
Mr.
Welcome
TickleTrunk.
to Mrs. TickleTrunk.
Mrs.
Gaze
Lyrics.
upon my icon and despair. How you guys do?
Good, man. How are you?
How's
Doing
it
good.
going, man?
I'm only going to be here for a little bit.
I think I'm gonna bounce. I got to turn in.
Oh, come on.
What? I got to be up
It's
at
the
5.
smell, isn't it? I'm sorry. I need to...
It's funny because whenever Mr. TickleTrunk shows up, Father Christopher Miller leaves.
Well, no,
Right?
this is my second time on with you
I
guys.
know. I'm just teasing you, man.
I'm
Oh,
looking
they're
forward
not
to
talking
being
at the
able
same
to
time.
be a part of this.
I don't know why he's afraid of me. I have no idea.
Oh, that's right. I remember the Elmo burning.
Do you remember this?
Love that. Oh, that part, that part.
That's just cringeworthy.
I
You know,
we
I
have
didn't
to make
notice the tongue last time.
I
Because
did.
I was flicking it on and off.
Yeah.
That's 2010 levels of shit posting right there.
All right, Father Christopher.
Good to see you guys.
Take
Have a
care,
good one,
man.
Father.
Talk
I
to you later.
look forward to seeing you in Dallas.
Likewise. We'll talk to you soon.
I'll buy you a drink, man. Just
Please
like you
do.
promised.
I'll take you up on it.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
we'll see y'all later.
All right, take care.
Notice how he said me too, which means he'll buy himself a drink as well.
I think he was referring to me too as in looking forward to seeing
Yeah, I
us.
know, but I'm just...
No, he's planning sexual assault allegations against you, comic. Watch out.
Now that any salvation for our souls has left the chat.
Good night, Father Miller. Mr. Grant Gregory for 100 roofies. Hail to the panel of Chads. And hi to Tox. Pope's beard is so long, it makes Drew's flopping phallus jealous. Oh, sorry, Father Miller. I'm glad I waited on that one.
Yeah.
Let's see. T-Backpack. If you look up studies and what causes suicide, it's likely they try to make it happen. Breakdown of family, community, finance, and the leading cause of suicide is men. I know there's definitely a lot more suicide amongst men.
Well, I mean,
it says in them.
It's crazy that the leading cause of
Southern
death among men under 45 is suicide.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty crazy. And yes, I do use Mylar bags, and I do seal them. I don't necessarily do the vacuum sealing as much as I do the oxygen absorber. I try and get as much air out as possible, and I just let the oxygen absorber do its job. So for the sugar, I don't, because apparently if you put an oxygen absorber in there, it will basically make the sugar hard. So I try and push out as much air as I can, and then I do the same thing with the flour, except I use an oxygen absorber. So yeah, I bought a lot of Mylar bags. I'm good on that front. I actually bought quite a bit in 2020 when it was kind of hard to get a hold of, and then Amazon actually has a really nice kit you can get for like $35 that has a combination of like 5-gallon bags for like the buckets and smaller ones. And so I've been doing what I've been doing is buying stuff like there's like my favorite pancake mix, and I've been Mylar bagging that because I made the mistake of leaving 2 boxes of pancake mix in my garage, which is air conditioned, but it will only last so long. It usually expires after a year, and it started going bad. So I had to throw out 2 boxes of pancake mix that I completely forgot about.
Wow.
I thought they stopped making Aunt Jemima pancake mix, you racist.
I have a supplier. Actually, I prefer Pioneer. Pioneer.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, that's even worse. You wouldn't buy the Aunt Jemima before. Oh, dang it. Just put on the white hood, dude.
Yeah, thanks, Tox. Thanks.
I think I just killed Reuben. Sorry.
You did.
Yeah, so my Mylar.
I needed that. I needed that.
Anything I Mylar bag that I put in some kind of container. Like I buy the storage bins, and I've been putting stuff in there. But
Do
yeah,
you do that with your ammo?
Mylar Baggett?
So I've had a couple of things I've been trying to do with the long-term storage of the ammo. And I know that there's certain ones that have battle packs that they have them packed up and they're, air sealed.
Yeah,
but
there was
I didn't vacuum seal them because I heard that if you vacuum seal, the bullet can actually wiggle its way out of the casing.
It
under
depends on
pressure.
what you're shooting and what kind of ammo you're using, but the cartridges themselves should never really go bad. It's just that eventually
moisture is the enemy, right?
Moisture is the enemy.
It is and it isn't. For sealed cartridges like modern ammunition, you can take stuff that's 50 years old and it should still fucking work.
Okay.
Because that's how it's designed.
My only concern is that the stuff I have is actually in the same room with my networking equipment, and it gets a bit warm in there. So I'm not sure if it's supposed to store it in a cool, dry place.
Normal amounts of heat are fine. I mean, being an Afghan vet, we had shit in the back of the truck constantly. Thousands of rounds worth of 5.56.
That thing would turn into an oven.
What's that?
I said that stuff would like turn into an oven in there with the heat.
Yeah. How long is it kept there? Has it been kept for like years? Because I have ammo I've kept in my closet for like years.
Weeks.
4 years at least.
And we had shit like 7.62 by 51, like 7.62 NATO, 50 cal, 5.56, 9mm, all of it.
Yeah, because back in 2018, each paycheck, I'd go out and buy 2 Magpul mags and a box of ammo and fill those suckers up.
And Magpul's actually pretty good.
I have the dust covers on them too.
Their polymer mags are actually pretty good.
They are. They're very good.
They're way better than the standard issue Stanags that we got. That I then stole way too many of.
Yeah. I'm probably going to buy a few more Magpul mags.
Actually, I've been looking at the new M5.
Okay.
Oh, yeah?
The new SIG rifle. And you know what? It looks on paper like a regression.
Really?
Really?
To a larger caliber, fully automatic, 20-round magazine. But it's just as fast as the goddamn 5.56.
How do you mean fast?
What kind of ammo is it taking?
6.8 by 51.
Huh.
They basically neck down to 308 NATO to 6.8 millimeter.
Right. And it's got the brass. It's got the steel combination steel and brass case.
Yeah, that's the crazy part.
Really weird.
Is the kind of pressures they're putting this thing out.
Yeah, serious cut pressure.
80,000 psi.
That's like a 50 caliber.
Yeah,
that's almost like a 50 cal.
Actually, it's way higher than a 50 cal.
It's been a long time, but yeah. Anyway, it's a lot.
But 80,000 plus psi, which makes it 3,000 feet per second out of a 16-inch barrel.
Ugh.
Which that thing's fucking moving.
I mean, shit.
Hey.
Welcome, Darius. How you doing,
Darius, how you doing, man?
Hey, Darius.
I just got in.
Cool.
How you guys doing?
Good. Doing real good, man. Still tired.
A little bit.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, I've honestly had a pretty busy day, and as I was telling the gents earlier, I did some pickling today. Pickled some pickles, and did some. I broke out the dehydrator today, and did a little test drive of it, and dehydrated some apples and bananas. Bananas were still not in like chip form yet. They're still a bit on the, I would say, sticky side, and we're stuck to the wax paper, not wax paper, the parchment paper I was using. But the
for prepping.
Yep.
Self-sufficiency.
Yes, self-sufficiency.
Have you tried plantains?
Yeah.
They're a bit smaller, easier to swallow.
I thought plantains were much bigger bananas.
No,
no.
Which are the like gigantic ones?
Those are the Drew bananas.
But I
They're
thought those
called
were also.
Supreme Heredix.
But I thought those were also a type of plantain banana.
They might be, but I mean
they are.
overall
Yeah.
plantains.
I was
are
about to say, I
a little
thought so.
smaller.
You all right, Reuben?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
That's weird. Okay, that's
You
weird.
lost your voice, man.
You're kind of hoarse, but we hear you.
It's the muscle tight. It's weird.
Yeah,
Dude.
I'm fine for now.
yeah. What
Okay.
you have is no joke. The fact that you're above ground and walking around and doing stuff is
Right.
Well, I'm
Bless
not
you.
walking. That's my
Well.
problem.
we'll get there.
Yeah, I know.
Darius?
Yeah, sorry, dead air.
Darius?
Yeah.
Why are you not completing our secret handshake?
I put it in the name as a
Oh,
visual
no.
pun.
It's just a smiley face. It's not. Never mind.
No, it just
Oh,
looks
so
that
that's
way
why
in,
you changed your icon.
You son of a
Microsoft.
bitch. Fine, I'm not playing either.
it's the smiley moon.
It's just a smiley face.
No, it just looks like that in Microsoft.
Darius, what happened to us?
It's supposed to be a moon.
It looks better in Google.
It does.
We're watching
Yeah.
a breakup of two glorious men in the
During Pride Month, what better timing?
And
The
apparently,
Pride Month,
But what have you done for me lately?
toxic manflu has turned into a bag of crisps.
Boyo Trump dicks.
Yes.
Well, you had salty cracker and you had Alex Jones on Friday. Now you have Darius and MrTickleTrunk.
It
right.
burns me up inside what I've done to you.
Actually, the burning
no.
inside is in him. That's the problem.
Now I'm just thinking of
I thought that
ministry.
was the clap.
Yeah, I see. Vertical Horizon's got it. He's got the moon.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like such a smirk. in
The glorious burning of the world.
I got that from doing this.
All right. So, Toxic Manflu, your wife is asking, what kind of dehydrator do I have? I have a Magic Mills food dehydrator. I got if I could actually say words, I
You
got
have
off
that,
Amazon
that,
for $200.
Oh, okay.
Magic
so
Mills,
Magic
food
Mills
dehydrator.
food
off of
I
dehydrator.
was
Amazon.
thinking, at least when it comes to all this type of prepping work, just like what's his name? Culture Casino has his new channel for DIY. We have to have DIY channels too, because again, I want to relearn all this stuff too.
I've been wanting to do like a prepping channel. So JS Pena is asking, so what exactly do you do on Sunday stream? Talk about doomsday prepping or what? No, we're just talking about what I was doing today.
mostly just shit
Prepping
posts.
for disaster.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
Sunday
not
shit
necessarily
posting.
prepping for doomsday.
No.
I'm prepping for what is going on in the world currently, which could be doomsday.
Well, I always say we're prepare for the apocalypse. And when you actually think what does apocalypse mean? It's to reveal what's been hidden from you.
Yeah.
So all of
It's
this
an unveiling.
charade, this veil of retardedness, basically in the world. We
That's
know
why
it's
you prepare
retarded.
for a zombie apocalypse because you know it's going to be exposed and the government screws up and something escapes the lab.
Yeah, something else weird has to happen. It's just getting too weird.
Yeah.
When
Having prevent Captain Trips doesn't become
when
real.
we're predicting cultural events happening years in advance, and again, it's true. And again, we say, okay, now they're going to do this, now they're going to do that. There's war's going to happen. And yesterday, unfortunately, Alex Jones said it about 3 times: nuclear war, in the stream yesterday.
I really hope
That-
there's something wrong about that.
Something's going to something. They don't care. Again, if you think Star Wars will create shit that they don't like you, these are the guys don't care. We're just people. We're just pawns. They don't care.
Stalin said it best.
And things are getting pretty scary there too. I mean, I definitely think we're in World War III right now, or at least the beginnings of it.
Yeah.
Nukes are a whole nother level
Yeah.
that we have never seen in our lifetime.
Yeah.
I know.
That is the kind of technology that we don't let off the chain.
Yeah,
No.
I think the issue is
No.
with the nukes is like because it's what I heard some talk is people wonder is like if like there's such things like because we have like the mother of all bombs like that to basically as a substitute for like a low grade nuke
Moab.
or such. Like,
Moab, yeah.
do we have stuff like where have developed nuclear warheads where well you're not going to put a giant crater in it but you're going to wipe out maybe instead of an entire city maybe a half a city a core like still some heavy
The Moab
devastation, not
was
crazy,
designed as
where
a
people might feel more
conventional
comfortable with things.
alternative to a nuclear weapon.
What was that? Say again.
The Moab was designed as a conventional alternative to a nuclear weapon.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah.
So basically, it can have the same effect on the battlefield,
Just not the radiation.
but also not the political fallout. Not
What
the,
is it that Russia developed? They developed like the Satan or something like that, which
Well,
is like
yeah,
that's-
that was
Satan
their,
II.
that was
Tsar
their
bomb.
65.
yeah.
the
Tsar
Tsar Bomba, a 50 megaton nuclear weapon that
It's
is
like
Tsar
scary.
Bomba was
But it just came
Bombs.
out that the 4 Satan 2 missiles can wipe out the East Coast. So
Well, that's because they can put basically, I think about 15 warheads on each
Right.
missile. So 4 of them, that'll give you 60 major targets up and down the East Coast. Yeah, it's pretty much the entire East Coast. Yeah,
But
everything
here-
over 150,000.
Did you hear that
Well, that's
Canada?
the one good news is about the war because I don't know if you've seen some of the footage. I know Jack Sposobek's been putting up some that he's been shared out from the Russian lines. It was like
Mhm.
recently, I don't know if you heard, they pancaked an entire train yard that had a bunch of NATO weaponry they're sending through. It's like I watched the video,
Really?
like you can see the ship out in the Black Sea, and then it unloads at least 4 or 5 missiles. Goes on. They said it was a train yard they were using to ship humanitarian goods, but also every other supply was NATO weaponry.
Right.
And essentially in Russia, this is what I've seen from a few streamers and a few things I've heard. And such what it seems like how the situation in Russia is. This war is actually very good for Putin right now because in Russia, the war isn't against Ukraine. This is a war against NATO.
NATO.
And ironically, it was our companies virtue signaling like a bunch of dumbasses. Like you look at Netflix where they cut all the subscribers off and they wanted to hide the fact the virtue signal
Oh,
backfired.
we're
And now
sending
Oh,
the
yeah.
Russian population straight into Putin's camp.
Right.
I mean, we're doing the dumbest thing possible.
Yeah, we basically confirmed his lie. That's a war in NATO. So if it was a war against Ukraine, Putin would look like an idiot. But because we're sending our weaponry, because our companies are pulling support, attacking the people, they're like, holy shit, the West are finally coming for us. Because they know. I remember it was on a news stream where they're talking about the Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the new prequel to the first game. In the game, you had the Road to Death, where they blamed it on the Russians, and it's a historical event that actually was caused by the U.S. during the Gulf War. And the newscaster in Russia, I remember
are they
seeing
trying to
he said
fucking
this.
say that the Highway of Death is our fault now?
Oh no, it was, I don't know, it was like some event where they said it was essentially a U.S. missile strike. It was some bullshit. But basically the guy in Russia said this.
I know the story behind the Highway of Death, and it's all bullshit.
What's the Highway of Death for those of us who don't know it, what it is?
What the
From what I understand,
It was in the first Gulf War.
you, because you said
It
you
was
go.
it was basically the route of retreat for the Iraqi army.
Yeah.
In Kuwait during the first Gulf War, where they were trying to fall back, and American forces, quite rightly, saw a massive formation of Iraqi armor on a
Tanks
highway
and trucks.
Yeah.
and literally just killed the living shit out of it.
I mean, it was literally wall-to-wall cars and burnout tanks.
Okay.
and
All right. I think I
For
vaguely
miles.
recall that.
Yeah.
Because basically how they phrase it, because as you said, Pope, they're trying to say America's bad. So the idea is because there were civilians amongst the escaping military. So they're like, oh, a bunch of civilians got slaughtered. So they don't focus on the fact the military was there.
That there
it
was an
wasn't-
actual
It was
army.
a military thing. And then the people were fleeing amongst the military because they thought it would be safe. Well, it turns out they were wrong.
And Soul
shit like
Assassin
that.
is correct when he says Highway of Death was in Jarhead.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Oh,
yeah, but this is what I mean though. It's like the Russian announcer, and this stuck with me, is how the guy said it because he sounded exhausted. He says, "We as a people are used to always being portrayed as the enemy in American media and all this. It's a fact we've all come to live by the past couple of decades since the Soviets fell."
They're
And
not
so-
wrong. They're not wrong because for our
Yeah.
entire lives, the Russians have been our foil. Essentially, the Russians
Yeah,
and
they
the
have been.
Chinese
Yeah,
are the only two things that can even come close to us.
yeah. But no, it's basically how the guy was saying. He's like, so over there in Russia, it's like it showed me. It's like, all right, they're very aware of how they're portrayed and viewed on by the West, which is like, yeah, they are the enemy to all of us. Like, we might as well be the Antichrist. And so they're aware of that. So us, he said, going with this war and how we've treated it, it's why they've rallied around Putin. Like, the rallies are huge. Like, the people against the war, as soon as our companies came out against them, they were like, holy shit, they're wrong. They're actually coming for us. They're coming to take out Russia once and for all. So it's bolstered his base, and him running this war as long as possible, some of the strongest support he's ever has. Like, he doesn't even have to inflate his voting numbers or anything. The people are that for him because they see here's the strong man protecting us from NATO, which want to see us destroyed at this point.
And
all right, guys, we're quick. I want to intervene because I have some super chats and comments I want to get to. Obsidy for $10. Good to see the member stream alive and well on 27 days in. Most likely a 60-day patient rehabilitation program, alcohol, here in Orange County, California. Things are going well. God bless. Hey, best of luck to you, man, and Godspeed on your sobriety.
Okay. I
it's like Gary
struggle with
said.
it too, so Godspeed, man.
Yeah, the good thing
it's
is
like Gary says, every day is an accomplishment. Don't never sell those days short. Every day is an accomplishment.
And there's a lot of people within the fellowship that have gone through recovery. So there's people you can kind of lean on, and obviously get a sponsor. Go to AA. I almost call it AAA. It's like, no, that's not right. Go,
Go pick up
do what you can, man. Do what you can.
We're running out of gas left and right.
Yeah. Toxic Flu for $5. Great exorcism with author Christopher Miller. For number 12, MrTickleTrunk took 500 Hail Marys and 600 gallons of holy water to get rid of the demon. Of that demon. MrTickleTrunk for 5 Canadian pesos. Comics keeps ammo in Marlar bags and trees away from the bears and their arms. Hashtag dad jokes are best. Excuse me. Dad jokes are best jokes. God, I can't talk. There's nothing better than me butchering one of your super chats.
I love it. It's so good.
It's a timeless classic that we hope never goes away.
Yeah. Well, considering that this is how my brain functions, it's not going away anytime soon.
like the Avatar.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the Business News Cider article on Super Chats to come out.
Oh God, yeah. Do you refrigerate your pickles? No, I do not. Actually, I have one that's in the refrigerator only because it did not seal properly. It didn't.
It's sending your pickles to space. Comics.
Yes. But no, I typically don't refrigerate them. I think well, that's like the whole purpose of canning, right? You just can leave things on the shelf.
Right.
So,
but what happens when you open it, though?
Well, if I open it, I put it in the refrigerator.
Well, okay, there you go. You still put them in the fridge.
Yeah. So the infamous Great Reset. Yeah, that's part of it, man. Seriously, it is part of it, and I do think I have my theories about what's going on. With this whole thing with inflation, as we all know, they want you to eat the bugs and live in the pod, and you own nothing and be happy. And the easiest way to get people to own nothing and be happy is to make it impossibly expensive to purchase certain things, like Bill Gates coming out and saying, we should just have synthetic meat. No, fuck off, dude. You don't tell me how to live my fucking life.
No, we should have
the
both.
pregnant man should be fighting health.
Yeah, but it's the easiest way to get people to eat the bugs is to make food just so expensive you can't afford it.
You know, in Japan, they figured out how to make hamburgers from poop.
I used to think this was a conspiracy theory.
I'll find it.
That's from
you all have
Snowpiercer
been right way too many times about this fucking thing for the Great Reset not to be happening.
No,
But
I mean, Alex Jones has been calling this shit for decades. So.
Well, not only that. I mean, Alex Jones has been pointing out, but fucking
he has been
World
right
Economic
about
Forum's
entirely
telling us
too
this
many
shit,
things.
dude. I mean, it's
That's true. But WEF only showed up really on the radar scope, I think, about 16. And you know,
started being
I didn't.
about
I
it,
sure shit didn't know to look at them.
Yeah.
You know,
I didn't know jack shit about them until 2020.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think what happened with the WEF, it's like with Alex Jones. I don't know if you heard about him talking about the spider goats. If you guys know about that.
I've heard about the spider guts.
Okay, when did you first hear about that? Just recently?
2016, and basically they were there. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
I thought he was talking
yeah,
about for a while.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a weird. It's kind of a weird story, and basically they were trying to get spider silk out of the goat's milk. Is what they were trying to do.
they're trying to splice the spinneret
Yeah.
glands from spiders into goats because the spider silk is essentially it's almost like a thread of titanium,
Yeah,
but
it's
extremely
very
light.
strong. Very
That's
strong.
durable. So if you can make a shirt out of that, you'll have something lighter than regular cotton, but as strong as titanium. So it
Right.
would make some of the most impervious body armor you can get. Get for that stuff. So that's why they're researching it. But the thing is that I've known about that since like 2014, 15, because a friend of mine during my speech class in college did a presentation on it. He just starts off the speech going, spider goats. And we're all looking at him like, what the hell you're talking about? And he pulls up the website, everything. And I'm like, the amount of shit that is actually public information, but nobody realizes it because like you don't even know to look for it. It's amazing. I think that's why the WEF has become more blatant for it because they're like, we've been telling you all this stuff we've been doing. The research, we're salvaging aborted babies for medical purposes. We're doing all these genetic sequences, all this crazy shit. But it's like all the information's out there if you want to see it, but it's like no one ever complains. So, okay, I think you're all okay with it. And they just keep going further and further with it.
That's what I'm saying. It's our choice.
Part of the problem is, too, outside the United States, nobody has the means to stop them.
Yeah,
So
you're
they're
right.
just bragging
And the reason
about
why
it
is
at
because
this
they've
point.
been disarmed, and that's what they're trying to do here.
But
That's
that's
why
Chile.
we can't let it happen.
we are the biggest threat to the quote unquote New World Order, that because we have guns. We have enough guns to arm every man, woman, and child in the country. And that scares the living shit out of them. And it should.
Yeah.
Because
When was the last time that a oppressed people threw off their oppressors and kept them off?
Yep.
Well,
1776.
Yeah, I was gonna say 1776, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And
it was
why?
1775.
1775, right. Oh, it's around that time.
I
French
lived
Revolution.
I lived 20 minutes away from Lexington, and one of my ancestors was there.
And
Nice.
that's the last time that happened. And of course, there had to be a war that they were fighting with the French, and it had to be quite a journey across the Atlantic to bring troops. But at the same time, what are you going to do? You're going to run up into those hills in West Virginia and chase those? Nope, you're not going to do that. You're going to go into those swamps in Louisiana and try and trace those Creole? Nope, you're not going to do that. Right? So,
And the other thing is, the British had the advantage of an Atlantic Ocean to hide behind once we won. These people don't.
Yeah.
So once we actually win, and we will.
Well, that's why I said I think that's why I say instead of calling the Great Reset, we should start calling it the Great Crash, because I said they're preemptively jumping the gun because they can't put their ego aside enough
They're
to charge
saying
this
the quiet part out loud.
Well, not just that. It's just like I said, they want to be the guys to accomplish. No, everyone wants to be the person to like find the cure for cancer. No one wants to be one of the guys who was part of the research that over years led to the cure, because those guys aren't remembered. That's why they're jumping the gun with the Great Reset. So it cannot fulfill, but it doesn't mean they can't try, and they won't burn down a lot of shit in the process. That's why I say it's fitting a way to call
it's Klaus Schwab, I guess, attempt at leaving a legacy. I have no idea.
Yes.
Real quick, Digital Remnant says Russians say that they will respond if any American missiles touch Russian territory. Does that include the newly acquired Donbass, etc.? Dude, I don't know. That's scary.
But
honestly,
Ukraine.
Given what I've seen about the Russian military in the Ukraine, these dudes are so retarded that I cannot believe they are actually functional. And it's not surprising that they're getting wiped out. Like entire battalions are getting just killed in place.
So another thing that Southern Bell brought up is that the ruble has increased in value, despite, I guess, our attempts to bring it down, which is interesting.
Yeah, they rallied behind it and they put it on a gold standard now.
Yeah, they did.
Wow, go figure.
They have an actual currency now.
So he asked the panel, which of you think you can survive a zombie apocalypse?
Oh, I'll be the first to die for sure.
I got it.
I don't know. I mean, I don't have I would say super survival skills. It's like I'm not ex-military. I mean, I know how to camp. I know how to make a fire. I have some skills, but I am by no means a survivalist. So I don't know. Being honest and realistic,
Probably won't.
maybe it could last a month. I don't know.
I think the Shaolin monks will be fine.
I'll put it to you guys this way. I didn't fight a war in Afghanistan, so I could fucking die to a zombie here.
Fair enough, man.
Exactly.
The awesome one has a great comment. It says, I'm watching Matt Christensen.
I watch him
Christensen
too. Yeah.
live now. He and his lady friend have some very intelligent and funny coverage of the news. Maybe get him on FNT or on your show. He's got about 2,804K subs. Yeah, that'd be great if we can get him on. See if you could.
I'll talk. See if I can reach out.
I
watch
I'm
him and
definitely
Blondie.
small time, so.
Well,
you never know.
We shouldn't talk about your lack of height
No, there's that too.
in the air.
Right.
Less than a micron at this point, I believe.
Dexivision may be small, but we get the job done.
That's right. He's a grower, not a shower, folks.
Toxic Man Flu for $5. The Canadian military have developed the most dangerous missile of all. The TickleTrunk transgender teabag missile is known as the Quad T.
Oh man!
And I have the injection.
Every time you look up, it drops right in your mouth. There's nothing you can do about it. It's awful. It's pretty
God
hairy.
damn it,
missile, too.
Doc.
No! Terminus, this is great. Asperger's from
Okay,
poop.
I just missed it.
So wants the populace to have Asperger's syndrome.
Oh, God.
So I want to
No,
share
it's true.
this article that was sent to me saying meat made from human feces, hoax, or Japanese best new
Oh,
invention.
God damn it, Japan.
This is from
I gotta
human
give
feces,
Japan
not
credit.
from cow.
Okay. I gotta give Japan credit. When it comes to the weird, edgy shit like this, at least I know it's some guy pushing the envelope. It's not a Great Resets thing, but I know the people in the Great Reset are looking at Japan for ideas all the damn time.
That caught your
This is
attention,
true.
huh?
Yeah,
Fortunately,
and this
it's
article's from
unlikely
2011.
these appealing options, I would not say that's appealing, will end up on your menu anytime soon. Thank God. Okay, end of article.
Yeah.
I know. That's worse than the IKEA mealworm burger, if you remember that one.
Oh yeah.
I'm not surprised.
I just remember when IKEA, I forgot when it happened, but there was an IKEA that ran out of Swedish meatballs and almost caused a riot, and I was like, damn.
Well, there was a big scandal. IKEA was serving up horse meat, which is something that's used in other countries.
Yeah.
And they messed up the order and they served it here in the U.S.
yes.
Yeah. Well, that was funny because I had a friend that he was from Europe, and we were talking about that. And it's like, yeah, mainly horse meat is used. in
Aldi
Europe.
got busted for that because they're a German chain, and
Yep.
they don't have the stigma there like we do here.
Yeah.
So Mark's 47. Spider goat silk was talked about in popular science over 25 years ago. I remember reading it in high school.
They were doing it at university in Wyoming, of all places, too, as I recall.
This is
Yeah,
why
I mean,
love-
I remember hearing. That's
This is
funny.
why
I
love
remember
Japan.
hearing about it.
Put it back up.
See, it's not a racist to devour watermelon like a savage. Everyone does it.
I guess that's a watermelon eating contest from like 4th of
50s.
July or something.
In the
1960.
70s. When was the last time you had 3-strip Adidas down the
Oh, what I
shoulder?
did to the girlfriend
Like
last
that?
night.
Exactly.
That is
maybe it's
that is
60,
impressive. I have to say that it's like a vacuum cleaner at work.
Legends say he was given 10 phone numbers on his way to a car.
It's pronounced
God damn.
Adidas.
It's Amber Heard trying to get her next man.
Captain Spire for $10. I've been challenging people in an MMO I'm playing to ask if they support maps or groomers. They immediately accuse me of being anti-LGBT. Wow. But never deny the LGBT is associated with maps.
funny how that works, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's what I said. They've been thrown out their own community. It's like these the predators are getting in. It's a complete shit show.
Okay, I hate to be naive, but maps. What's that refer to?
Minor attractive person.
Pedos.
Oh,
yeah.
Chomos.
Yeah.
Pedos.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they tried to get Namblin before, but Namblin was already owned, and they were like, okay, that didn't work. What do we do now? Oh, we'll create a new term for them. Like they even had that university professor that came up with it. Says like,
well, it
we got to
sounds
remove
less
the
insidious,
stigma.
right? I mean, it's like we all know what a pedophile is, but someone's like, a map. And it's like, well, what's a map? Well, they're just a minor attractive person. You know, it doesn't sound as threatening, right? As
yeah, and it's also
fucker.
It throws it off. Throws it completely off.
It's like taking shell shock and turning into post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah, makes it.
Oh yeah,
we were talking about this shit. I mean, the far right were talking about this shit 15 years ago.
Yeah, but they see it everywhere.
Except they're right.
Yeah.
Well,
except
they're wrong until they're
that's the worst part about this. Is
no, they're wrong until they're right, and then they're wrong again when it goes
is
away.
Actually correct.
Yeah.
The thing is,
it's
here is
really hard to argue against.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's a stopped clock.
well, and it's like, I know, Reuben, you sent the link to that one thing that
Alex Stein.
Yeah, Alex, thank you. Alex Stein did.
Oh,
did.
yeah,
I
the
saw
kid
that
with the
stuff,
bar.
and it's like, dude, just
Okay,
some of the
well,
shit
here's the
that-
thing. In a way, it's sort of like what Mr. is saying, but it's also the same thing where, like, this was my big question because I saw it, and this is where I say this is how you got. Like, at times we got to take a moment to see if, like, all right, how can we nail them on this issue where they can't get out of it? And that's where I realized, like, okay, you have these kids at a drag show at a bar.
Yep.
All right, let's get away from the LGBT thing because they always use it as a shield. In there, that's always getting. And so I'm like, all right, how do we not give them the fence? I'm like, oh, the easiest thing right there. Take out LGBT. What's the other half of that sentence? Bar. Why are underage children in elementary school in a bar? Answer that question. Ignore everything else. And already,
here's my thoughts on that. Okay, it's like I've been to drag shows. I know what happened, what goes on there. I've hung out with drag queens. There was a dude I used to do film stuff with. He's a drag queen. I don't have a problem with these people. I don't have a problem with the show.
Right.
I do have a problem with people taking children there because that is adult activity, and children have no business fucking being there.
And if you've been to those things, you understand.
Yeah, if you've been to those things,
you understand there is a sexual undertone.
You know what I say, Jerry Nadler. So then you can take young kids to a sex show, but they're not old enough to have a gun. It's insane.
Here is the thing.
Yeah.
It's in my opinion, it's like taking a child to a strip club. They have no fucking business being there.
Exactly.
Why is a minor in an 18 and over establishment? That's the issue.
And the reason we have those restrictions is because children cannot understand what is going on there.
Yeah.
Like, especially like a drag show or whatever. Like, adults, it's fine, it's funny, it's humorous, it's a good time. It's been done for decades.
It's closer to a burlesque show, but you're right.
Yeah.
But it's more for the ha-has than anything else.
Yeah, it's racy humor and stuff like that, but it is something that is
my friend's a
very much
drag
adult.
And even he said it because he noticed this happening. He even said, he says, like, when they start doing like the drag queen story hour, he even said he would talk to other people and he says, like, any actual drag queen, like anyone in that community, they know exactly what it is. As you say, it's like a burlesque show. It is not for kids. So he's like, in a way, it is easily people telling on themselves. Because I'm like, no actual person who does drag is going to think to insert themselves into a kid's space because they know they don't belong there. It is not appropriate from there. Period. No actual drag queen. So if there's a drag queen who's like, this is okay for kids, that's not a drag queen. That's a fucking pedo. That is one of these new maps.
Perfect.
They're trying to hide themselves.
Funny how the left, when they're the ones that are associating, the alphabet community with the maps and pedo people. It's dude,
there is an unfortunate connection between the two.
There is, but it's complicated, right? Not all pedophiles are gay, and not all LGBTQ plus ABC, XYZ.
True, but by calling everyone who says that there is a correlation homophobic, you cause more of a problem. than by just talking about the fact that these two things have a relationship.
Wow, dude. So Paul is saying that the one that Alex Stein confronted is becoming a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Why does that not surprise me?
Wow,
you must be involved in your local school boards, your local politics.
Who's having static issues?
That's Lightning 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's an adjustment.
I'm not sure. It's like, is it anytime he talks, it's static or?
It's something with the mic.
Okay.
Could be.
It's just popping.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I'll just
wasn't
leave
sure.
it muted.
No, that's fine. Just wondering what was going on. So, Bonehead says, but you don't sound like it's a Gundam. Well, I mean, I don't make a habit of it, right? I mean, but it's something that's, there's a club in Austin called Elysium, and a friend was in town, and we're both into industrial music, and another former coworker was in town, and we all went to Austin. So I was telling about the Elysium, and we go up, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's drag night," and we're just like, "Fuck it!" So we just went in.
And
then when the show was over, we went out on the patio because some of them were smokers, and the drag queens came out, and we hung out with them and talked to them.
Yeah, no, as I
One
said,
tried
'cause
hitting
the
on
key
me.
thing of drag queens is you're a dude in a dress. That's where all the humor and outrageousness comes from, because you understand that.
Right.
That, like, my friend's a drag queen. He's deep in his community. Did even a couple shows himself, and he's looking at it, he's like, "What the fuck's going on with all this?" Is like, this wasn't what it was before, and even like the older drags are getting thrown out. Is like, it's sort of how you say with the pedos.
And
It's like,
because
they've always found spaces to hide.
But by the way, that
and
was
they're
also the
taking
same
over.
night I was sexually assaulted by a woman when we were leaving 6th Street.
Was she wearing electrical tape over her nipples?
No, it was basically this chick. It was, I guess, her bachelorette party.
Oh no!
Because this is like a Friday night.
Tell us
and,
more.
Yeah,
Was
she
her
walked up
name
and just basically
Sarkeesian?
grabbed my junk. That was it.
Should I grab my tissues?
Was her name Sarkeesian? Did she work in the comics industry?
No.
Sorry.
Oh,
God, I'll
God,
never
that-
forgive
that-
the comics industry for unleashing that onto the gaming industry.
Dude, I would actually die laughing if someone actually Me Too'd Anita Sarkeesian.
That would be
Oh,
absolutely funny.
please.
Like,
Paybacks, I'm
I
on
would
fire.
just die laughing. I would not be able to breathe.
No, the best one if it's another woman. So I'm
Yes.
like, there's no defense.
No,
You
it would
not
be
only
even
committed
better
sexual
if it was
assault,
fucking
you
what's his
committed
name?
sexual assault
If it's a
against
black
LGBT.
woman, too.
Which one was that, comics?
No, a trans woman. There you go. Just nail every corner. Bury her as deep as possible.
Joss Whedon. It would be really funny if it was actually
man.
Joss Whedon that Me Too'd her. TerminusEst for $5.
The irony.
Yeah, exactly. That would be the point. So someone actually made hamburgers out of human poop. I know. I did see it. I know you sent me a message about it, but I'll read it anyway. Whose idea was it? Someone with Asperger's?
Yeah, that was the best one.
Like, I remember when that was the
Still
joke.
funny, Terminus. Still funny.
Like,
We
that
need
was- I
a,
remember that
we need
being
a
shit
rim
post.
shot.
Oh
Sound.
god.
Oh.
Yeah, every time I
got
come
one.
here, I look for stuff like that.
Yeah. I need to
It's
get
called
my
a sloppy
stream
joe.
deck wired in to be able to do stuff like that. There we go.
go.
All right. Just another red shirt. Does Subscribe Star notify you of new subscribers? They're supposed to, but they don't. I did see that. It looks like there was a new subscriber that signed up. If you're at the $5 level, you should be able to go and get the link to jump on. If not, I can just send it to you.
Also, hail just another red shirt.
Yeah.
Stream with him a
Hail
couple
just
times.
another red
He's a
shirt.
good dude.
Hey, Richard.
Dying
great
for
dude.
everybody so the important people can live.
Does Red Shirt one on?
Yeah,
I'll
can you
put the
send the
link.
link?
I'll
Okay.
send him the link. I'll do it to your Twitter DM, just.
Also, I would like to say on the stream in front of everyone, fuck you all. I was right about Strange New Worlds. It's an actual good show.
It's
Is it?
not bad. It's not
It
bad.
is?
It's not
Yeah.
bad.
It's
Dave
I mean,
getting
it's a
better.
lot
Cullen.
better than
It's
Star
getting
Trek
better
STD.
episode by episode.
Dave Cullen
It's-
said the third show was really good.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
that
so-
It was-
I
it
was,
was actually
leaving that
humorous.
piece of crap alone. He said that. Now I might watch it.
Yeah.
Hold on,
No, I was
I'm
watching
And I am
I'm
a
not
old
going
school
to.
Trekkie too. So
Yeah.
It's
fuck you all.
still
I was right.
it's still a
It's still very direct.
Paramount.
no, what's his name?
Akiva Gold.
Alex
Alex
Kurtzman.
Kurtzman.
Alex Kurtzman still. It's still Alex Kurtzman's production. Fuck that guy. I'm not going to watch it. Sorry.
No,
There's
I
another
mean you're
problem.
I
absolutely
understand.
right that it fuck him, but it's actual good Star Trek.
It's decent.
Beg to differ.
And, it's not perfect, TickleTrunk.
It's not perfect, but
No,
it's actual.
It's
good
a 5 out of
Star
10
Trek.
now. The problem is you've been served up shit for so long. You're now
not
a
wrong.
connoisseur of shit.
Yes.
No,
That's
you're
what
not.
I've
You're
been
not
hearing a
wrong.
lot
Yeah.
more.
That now
Now
they
that
give
we're
you
not
a
finding corn
Japanese
in it,
poop
you're
burger.
saying it's improving, but
I would give it a solid 7.
that high.
Yeah, and they're
I've been
getting
hearing
better.
more 6 out of 10. That's what I've heard about Strange New Worlds. Like,
And they're getting
essentially,
better
it should be
every
what the
episode.
low mark of what Star Trek should be.
Yeah,
Like that should
it
never
should
be
be.
the
You know,
lowest
I'll
Star Trek
take
game.
that at this point.
No,
Rather
and,
than Star
but I
Trek
agree with
Connoisseurs
TickleTrunk
of
on this
shit.
one. I they have been serving us crap for so long that when they give it just even this, and I hate to say it, this mediocre,
Yeah.
we're more than happy to accept it. But the fact is, it's a lot better than
It's
STD
like what I
ever
give
was
the
or Picard.
example. Yeah, it's like what I give example for like the Star Wars when you get the prequels. Like, there's the prequels have issues. They're not the best movies, but they're not 1s or 2s. They're not that bad. You hit the sequels, then you realize, this is what happens when you hit the fucking bottom. Looks like this is where you actually see in the bottom barrel. Like that's why I mentioned when it comes to movies as a whole. When you think about it, like bad movies for us for the longest time were like 5s. For like 4s and 5s, and rarely would you get something that's an absolute stinker.
5
That's a 1
used
or
to
2.
be an average.
Hey!
70s rock fan.
Oh,
Hey
who let
guys.
this?
Damn it,
Who
there's
let
one
this
too many
idiot in
Canadians
here?
here.
I thought it was
Captain
time we had one
on
of
a
the
dick.
longest members in the Dix division. I mean, longest running members in the Dix division.
Oh, if it's running, you should see a doctor.
I'll get with Darius.
He's been drinking too much.
The longest glistening member.
Okay, John Penn says,
Certainly
expect a
glistening.
hit piece. I don't know if he means from or on the SPLC. The next few days, they're going after Andy No. I'm not surprised.
Yep.
It wouldn't surprise me, no.
Yeah. Joe's, how's it going? For $1.99, Pope is right. Memorial Day episode was badass.
This week's episode was okay. I mean, I won't spoil it. If you want to take a look at it,
I
it's
don't
okay.
give a shit. I
That
really don't.
said,
I'm not gonna watch it.
the Orville was actually even better. So
Yeah, the
Orville was
Oh,
incredible.
see now,
The Orville
I
was
watched
great,
the
don't get me
Orville.
wrong.
yeah,
and was bored to
Grumby!
tears
this week.
Oh.
with the first
Well-
episode. All it was long emotional shots, walks
Yes.
down the stuff they'd filmed last year, and da. But I'm one of the people that after the third show of the second season,
Mhm.
when it stopped being the humorous stuff and started turning into quote unquote real Trek,
Yep.
I thought it sucked since then, and I
It
haven't
has
watched.
sucked since then because it.
So
it
I'd like the
takes
humor
all the
part of
bad
it.
things that fucking Kurtzman Trek does.
No, I think it's a good show. It's just not. The first season and the first 3 episodes of the second season were Galaxy Quest, and then it turned into Star Trek.
And
I
Galaxy Quest-
really
Hey,
enjoyed
Green
the
Rocks, how you
Galaxy
doing, man?
Quest.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
good. I'm
Green
good.
Rock.
How we doing? It's nice to see everybody.
Be
Been a
right
big
Good to
fan
actually
of most of
see
you
you
for a
on camera
while.
for once.
Nice to meet you.
Harambe.
Oh, why? Thank you. Like, subscribe. I don't have a channel. This is awkward.
That's okay. Neither do I. Well, actually, I do, but yeah. Don't do
I
it.
apologize for being late. I was just having to close everything up, but I'm really happy to be here. Get to hang out with you, Reuben. I'm a big fan of yours. Been seeing you for a long while on Twitter, man. It's good to actually, see you, like face to face ish.
Thank you.
How you doing, Mr. Tickle?
Hi.
Anyway, I agree with Toxic. I liked the Orville much better when it was funny.
Yes.
I mean, I did too. I mean, it definitely set itself apart from, Trek that way. I mean, now it's kind of trying to be Trek, which I get to a degree because there's definitely that void. And maybe Strange New Worlds has to become good because the Orville is basically beating its pants right now.
Well, the Orville was
Bro,
supposed
they're
to be how
kicking
it
it.
is
They're
now
kicking the
from
shit
the
out
beginning.
of it.
Yeah.
They're kicking the shit out of it.
Well, for the record, I love the Orville. I completely love it because again, I'm a sentimental guy, and basically, there were interviews of Seth MacFarlane. Seth MacFarlane is a romantic at heart.
Yeah,
And a Trekkie. And a Trekkie.
He's a huge
Yeah,
Trekkie.
and then I'm a very
He runs a
romantic
bunch of
guy at
operas,
heart too. So I empathize, I follow along, and I'll just say this much, and Toxic Man, you may disagree or not, but in the last episode, the episodes that were the slowest and that were silent, that only had emotion. You had emotion from Isaac, you had emotion from Dr. Finn, and emotion from other people. But those slow shots were really impressive. Because again, I'd rather have watch that versus that crap Kenobi crap. You know?
Oh yeah.
I haven't gotten past episode 1. I can't. I mean, I legit don't give a shit.
Honestly,
No,
I turned it on and I just stopped paying attention as soon as after I clicked play. It was mostly true. I just didn't care to pay attention. It's like
Which show are you talking about?
Kenobi.
Okay.
I had to shut that fucking thing off because I was getting so angry. I was just like, no.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I have to walk away.
Yeah.
So
I walk away completely.
I'm done with Star Wars. I don't give a fuck anymore. I
No,
really
I'm
don't.
the same way. I was that way.
Especially after hearing about what they did with the fight of the century, folks. The fight of the century. The rematch between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader was a bunch of bullshit. They fucking.
I didn't get to see that. Was the video that came out on April 1st like the same thing in that it was?
Yeah. Oh, the leak?
Yeah, that leak
was correct. That was
oh my god, that's so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's why I say for a lot of these things, like that's why I say I call it the poison pill. Because if you do it early, because there's a point where, like in a way, like comics they say, where if you allow it to get far enough, it will corrupt the original stuff, or you will corrupt all the older stuff.
Well, that's basically what they're doing now.
That's what they're doing.
That's the whole. That's the whole thing. Culture is so important, and culture is based on a legacy. Tolkien's legacy, his legacy of Dune, the legacy of Star Wars, and all these franchises.
And all
they have to do is go back and change something in the past that changes everything completely, so that they can have a different story and take it down a different alternate timeline, a timeline of disaster. And that's what's going on.
That's why I say the poison pill. For example, like for me, because I bailed, like I fully like black pilled all of the new Star Wars, or like poison pill. That's why I say it's a poison pill, because it's like I haven't given up on Star Wars. I can replay my old Battlefront 2, and I enjoy it. I can go back rewatch the movies because I cut myself off soon enough where it doesn't affect me, but I can look at this new stuff and it's there's a dissonance. Like I felt it with the Halo show, where they revealed the guy's face and I didn't feel anything, because to me how I saw it was some random guy in Spartan armor, but I still love the books. Like there's a way where you can, it's like this sort of acceptance where like you separate, where you'll realize where you can separate the two, and basically you can keep your love from the old stuff intact, and then the new stuff you'll realize looks like it's fucking alien to you, and it doesn't affect you to a degree. That's why it's so easy to sit and laugh at it. But I said, if you do it too late, or you say comics, or it hits your state, it destroys the old love for you as well.
I am totally black pilled on Star Wars at this point. I legit don't fucking care.
No.
Southern Bell says, I tried giving Kenobi a chance, open mind. By 3, I was screaming. Yeah, that's the reason why you don't give it a chance. I mean, it's exactly the standard MO of fucking Disney and soon to be Marvel.
And what does it do?
This is what they've been doing with Star Wars. It's like
the only reason I gave Strange New Worlds a chance is because I am a battered fucking spouse when it comes to Star Trek, where I just want it so bad that I will just come back every time. And yet, this one, they're actually winning. Like this one's actual Trek.
Well, we'll see if it's
great.
It is that way, man.
Discovery, I gave it 3 episodes, and oh god, no.
Yeah. It won't be anything like last time. I promise.
Picard, I got maybe 45 minutes into the first episode, and had to rage quit because I was about to hit something.
But yeah, no Green Rocks, man. I'm done with it, man. It's like Disney has basically screwed everything up to the point where it no longer resonates with me. And I mean, maybe give it a couple of years, I'll enjoy the original trilogy.
Yeah.
But it's not content only; it's their character.
Yeah.
How they treated Gina Carano.
Yes.
How they treat their employees.
How they treat their fans.
Yes.
It's the people behind the projects. Like with Lucasfilm, where I'm like, okay, we know the people at Lucasfilm. And you look at Kathleen Kennedy, the dumb bitch that she is. You look at Pablo Schreiber, the complete asshat. You look at all the other guys in the story group. I forget most of their names. Can't be bothered to even learn most of them. And they're the same people working in all these projects. I'm like, if it's the same team of people, why do you expect anything else other than shit? Why do you expect them not to keep fucking it up?
Well, and the other thing too, my problems with Star Wars started with the prequels. Okay, that screwed a lot of things up. That really kind of made me angry with Lucas, and I didn't hate Star Wars, but I definitely had issues with what Lucas did with the prequels. I felt it ruined the character of Darth Vader, making him kind of an emo kid. But that's me. That's my take on it. I felt after when I heard that Disney bought it, and I was like, okay, maybe they could breathe some new life into it. And the first thing they did is they went and got rid of all the EU. And
No, that wasn't the first thing they did. The first thing they did was they shut down Lucas Arts when they had, I think, at least almost a dozen games in the pipe.
That happened too, but the most important thing is that they got rid of the EU, and that basically, and they picked and choose what they wanted from the EU that they could exploit, and that I was like, okay, I get it. As a fan, I hate it. I get it from a business standpoint. I completely disagree with the rationale behind it, but from a business standpoint, I get it. And they went and just fucked everything up. So it's dead to me. It's dead to me. Don't care anymore.
Comics, I agree with you, but somebody mentioned it, maybe you earlier, about the impact on the original trilogy of Star Wars movies. I think they've always wanted to mess with those. I think they've always wanted to destroy them.
Yeah.
Well, since the woke tards got a hold of.
Yeah.
Well, I have a theory that even Lucas wanted to sabotage Star Wars because of what it did to him.
Yep.
It basically, it was a blessing and a curse. It to a degree, it kind of ruined his life.
Yeah, they're retconning everything to do with the original trilogy by putting things around it and that are ruining it. The story, bringing logical inconsistencies into it, making the heroes into the weak or cowardly or whatever,
But the other thing too is Gary Kurtz was the one that kept Lucas in line, and there was a lot of people that helped Lucas become successful with Star Wars, right? There was a lot of people involved. It wasn't just one guy.
Why it's a curse is, as you say, it's like, if you look at it, like, Star Wars is the biggest thing he's ever done. Like, outside of that,
ever do.
Yeah.
And as a filmmaker, that was his magnus opum, right? And there was nothing else after that he could do that would be as grand.
Like, he's tried to branch out and do other stuff where he's like, oh, these are passion projects, and they've all failed. I think he's kind of realized where he's like, I don't have the talent that I think I do. Star Wars is like the only thing I've had the talent for, and that's like just like almost a fluke in a way.
And if you notice too, the only movies he's ever done that have succeeded have been in partnership with Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
Well, I think Tom of Midnight's Edge told us, I don't know how many weeks ago it was, we were talking about this very subject, that Lucas almost bankrupted Francis Ford Coppola's studio with like THX, and those were the kind of movies he wanted to make.
Yeah.
And they're like, you've got to make something that's going to make us some cash.
Right.
So he made American Graffiti,
which is a good movie
with Spielberg. And and then okay, you got to make us something else, and then they came up with Star Wars, right? And then it just exploded. So I think you're right. Lucas hasn't been able to make the movies he wanted to make because nobody wanted to see them.
Yeah.
Right. And so I could see him sabotaging that. I put in the chat, Douglas Adams, huge success with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, wrote 3 books, so much clamoring for him to write a 4th that he wrote a 4th and destroyed the earth for good in the 4th one because he didn't want to write anymore. Actually, and he ended up having to write a 5th book because they kept going after him because people wanted him to write it so they could make money off of him.
The 4th book in the trilogy. And yes, I will say that because that's how Douglas himself puts it. It's fucking perfect because he absolutely hates every fucking sentence he's writing.
Yep, and you could tell.
Yep, and he's just like, fuck you all. Here's your goddamn 4th book.
But as I said
see the
in
fingers.
the chat as well, Toxic, some asshat now would just claim it was in the multiverse and it isn't really dead.
Yeah.
And just remake it. You know.
At 78, does Lucas even have it in him at this point? No,
No.
He's done. He's retired. He is done with filmmaking.
That's why he sold it to Disney. Is he was retiring.
Yeah.
He's out.
I mean, he lives in, was it Minnesota at this point?
And I don't blame him for that.
Because, I mean, legit, the guys from Red Letter Media joke about running into him and seeing him. They actually have. I mean, he's there.
Are they the ones that filmed him walking behind?
Yeah, sorry,
them?
Wisconsin. Yeah.
Were they the ones that filmed him walking behind somebody into a bank? There was somebody.
Yeah, and it was
filming.
actually George Lucas.
Yeah, it was George Lucas walked behind them and he's looking at them like.
Yeah.
It was a random filming, of course. It
Well,
wasn't
I mean,
a random photo bomb.
it's like everything else, where there are famous people that live just about everywhere, and you'll run into them at the weirdest times. Like 70s will appreciate this one. Apparently, Alice Cooper lives right near me because I've run into him in the store.
Oh, nice. You haven't run into him in your truck. That's the main thing.
I swear, dude, does he still look the same? It's like he's looked the same since the 70s.
He has the long hair and obviously he looks like Alice Cooper, but the mascara and stuff obviously is just for show.
Yeah.
But he is such a nice guy. Like, for a guy who wrote the song "No More Mr. Nice Guy."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is such a he's just such a pleasant person to talk to. It's fucking awesome. One of my life's dreams would be to have him on the show at one point.
I love this comment. This is so fucking Jeremy. Mark's 47. I met G&G Jeremy at Whataburger.
You must live in
Was he serving there? Or?
No, he was probably eating there.
Do you want fries?
Was Ryan there not getting his order?
My dream is to serve Ryan.
Dude, I legit. So for those of you who are going to Dallas for the meetup, there's a place called Taco Bueno. I want to take Ryan to Taco Bueno because it is superior Taco Bell. And then I'm going to pay them to give him
just to give him a hard dick. There you go.
No, I gotta buy like an extra order. I was like, you see that guy over there? When he comes in, orders his food, give him this, and then really give him the stuff when he goes and complain.
You've got to put it. What you should do next day,
make sure you videotape this.
With Ryan at a place. Just go and take Ryan's fries. Just go up and like, oh, they're eating, but hey, big fans, love you guys. Hey, Ryan, just take his fries. Continue talking to Jeremy. Ignore Ryan.
I would need to get somebody else to film it because for me to film it would be too obvious if I do it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, that would be fucking hilarious.
It has to be completely honest too. Like nobody can be in the know or whatever. And then at the very end, somebody should like bring out like a receipt or something that has like, oh yeah, by the way, Comics Division did this.
Yeah.
Fucking
and just watch his fucking face.
You would kill me.
Oh no, I'll fucking do it. I don't care. He can try to kill me all he wants.
Do it because it's funny, and I love Ryan.
He can try to kill me all he wants. He's a
oh
noob.
no, I mean he's not going to try and kill me. I'm being superfluous, but no, it's he's a good dude.
No,
but it's so fucking funny how angry he gets over getting a wrong order. Me, I'm like, there's plenty of times where I'll get something wrong. I'm like, oh fuck, I don't give a shit. I mean,
I've only ever had
it doesn't bother me.
Once, and it was at a McDonald's in Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you're a nice guy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's been times where, depending, okay, it does get irritating, especially if you really want something,
right?
And that's what gets fucked up. And man, Grubhub has gotten my orders fucked up a couple times recently.
Right.
Well, that's Grubhub, dude.
Yeah. It's like we ordered Italian the other day, and my wife and I both ordered lemonade, and we only got one. Oof. Yeah.
We get to share.
So what did she drink instead?
No, I let her have lemonade, and I just got something else. Well, technically, okay. So they're flavor lemonades, right? So there was a raspberry lemonade and a strawberry lemonade, and the one that came was the raspberry lemonade, which is what my wife ordered. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or was it going to just take it from her? That's my lemonade. That'd be dick.
And nobody will have time to go up the Grapevine, but there's a great place called Tommy Tamale there, which is really good. So.
Outside of LA?
Great
Dallas. Rob Zombie in the house. That still makes me laugh. Man, Green Rocks, you've been quiet, dude. What have you been up to, man? If you're talking, we can't hear you. No Green Rocks?
Oh, nothing much. Sorry. I'm just happy to be here. Nothing much, man. I've just been I'm just working on some stuff. I'm now a full-time cast member on the Weekly Hump with Shagsworth and Horror Armorado with Sheepsidian. So that's really fun for me. I'm very excited to be a new cast member on there. And I'm just working on the memes. And what was it last week with Alex Jones? That was absolutely incredible. It was just everybody was having so much fun, and of course the Legion of Memers showed up in mass, and it was so good.
The only Jones meme was funny as hell.
My Twitter has been a nightmare because of the memers.
The memes that came out of FNT this week were just like on another level.
I mean, and the fact at the end of the night that when D-Day Cobra gave me that shout out, like I lost my freaking mind. Sure, I sent in that the donation, but still, the fact that they know me just really blows my mind. I sent it to my mom, and she sent me like a message being, "I'm so happy you know these people. They're such good people." I'm like, "I know, Mom. I know."
I still, like I said, I'm still tripped out by the fact that I, used to hear Tim Pool read your super chats all the time. So, and it's like, here you are. It's such a small world, man.
It's been a long journey. I'm really.
Yeah, it's a big step down, huh?
I don't know. I don't think Tim would have enjoyed any of the memes I made for him. You gotta like gauge the sense of humor of some people.
But that's the important thing here is that we're all together here right now, and despite everything that's going to happen and might happen, we still have a voice, and we come together here. People are doing DIY channels, or people are knowing how to prepare to do prepping. People are enjoying good movies like Maverick and stuff like that. So we're going to continue to do good stuff. That's what we're going to do here, and I'm just grateful and just want to say thank you again for being here. It's a good thing.
Oh, I'm happy to be here with all you. Every time I'm on stream with you guys, I have that little super fan guy moment. Like, oh my god!
We all do it especially when it's somebody that. I mean, the fact that I was on a stream with Undoomed. I mean, holy shit, dude! I mean, like, and Lauren Chen, all these YouTubers I used to watch, and still do on occasion.
On a stream with Chris Gore, it's like
I mean, it is just crazy, but it's like, back when, my heavy red pilling days, I was watching a lot of, Lauren Chen and Undoomed and, others from that was considered to be part of the, as I totally blank on them.
Intellectual dark web?
No, that was kind of pre-intellectual dark web. I'm totally blanking on the skeptic community. There we go. That was it. Thunderfoot and all these other YouTubers that were talking about what was going on with culture and SJWs and basically the stuff that we're talking about now to a degree, but in a different way.
And they were talking about it 6-8 years ago.
Lauren Chen was doing it back in like
I'm talking guys like Sargon of Akkad.
Oh yeah.
Well, that all started like in 2014. After when Gamergate started, right? Because a lot of those people kind of came to prominence because of Anita Sarkeesian and what happened and all that. So I mean, at this point, I guess it is about 8 years ago.
God, I first saw that around 2012, between 2013 where you first started hearing about it, but it's very fringe sort of thing where I'm like, oh, that's really stupid. Then it
I didn't know about Gamergate until like 2 years later, man.
Yeah. I knew it blew up. And I didn't realize
I remember seeing the Gamers Are Dead articles, but I didn't understand what was going on.
Right.
And it's like I remember the name Zoe Quinn, but it's like I didn't know the context behind it.
Didn't know anything about Candace Owens either.
I was shitposting during Gamergate, and I didn't realize I was part of Gamergate until someone tried to cancel me. So I was just
really?
I was just like, what?
This is why I wear this, mate. This is why I have to protect some things because people don't have boundaries.
Oh yeah, they don't.
That's true.
No,
that's true.
But it's like Reuben was saying though. Don't underestimate the power of our voice. I mean, we're the same level of shit posters that managed to convince a multi-billion-dollar corporation to re-release a movie in the theaters just for it to flop a second time. More than time, guys.
That's master tier shit.
That was one of the most beautiful moments I've ever seen. You know, next to the time, 70esrockfan actually let me on his channel. So...
But the weirdest thing about it is the fact that you shouldn't have to be able to wear that mask to be able to speak your opinion.
Yeah.
Because
there are people that will retaliate against him. I mean, just for his opinion, and
it's ridiculous though.
It's like what happened to like what I call the gamer logic, where it was because I like Jeremy always like to say like freaking I was like play Call of Duty lobbies. I grew up in Call of Duty lobbies, playing through all the time. Halo 3 lobbies. So as you said, those get super heated, super toxic. So we are spewing some of the most vilest shit you'll ever hear. And you'd be like, what is wrong with you guys? As soon as the game is over, like I still remember, it's like I'll be talking shit to a guy, and then it's like, oh, the game disconnected, you be removed from the lobby. And immediately it's like a fire went out. I'm like, oh, but that sucks. All right, next game. And it's like all that anger and rage, you would think there's something wrong with me, is like disappeared in a second. Because like, you'd leave it there. It's online, you'd send shit to each other, whatever. But as soon as it's done, you walk away. It's done. It just stays there. You don't take it any further.
Right.
It was American thing.
Well, the funny thing about it too is I remember Sargon talking about it's like all I wanted to do was play video games. I didn't want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I got here.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, God, some of the worst shit posting I've ever seen was in World of Tanks, but yeah.
World of Tanks used to have some of the worst shit ever.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Their fucking chat used to be
that's just the culture, man. That's the thing that I think
was
is dumb. It's like it's like. And now it's like everyone has to be we can't offend or risk offending somebody now. It's
like that one streamer recently. I don't know if you heard about. I forget his name. It's like Sonic something, but he's a 17-year-old black kid. He was playing Valorant, and then he went on. And the thing is, that's his gimmick. Is he plays a raging gamer. Like I remember in League, we had the one guy who was a professional gamer, and he was known to lose his shit every now and again, called a TK9. So it became a meme where people get mad and say, oh, you take T9 over here, you're becoming another TK. Because like people lose shit, and like people made a meme out, became being like a persona. So the guy was playing that persona, and what happened? The company was like, oh, this guy's too toxic. We banned him from the game, suspended his account. The people were like, well, he needs to be deplatformed from everything. And I'm like, and the guy's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? He's like, dude, I was like, I don't like this game. I was playing because chat asked me to, and I was fucking around in it. I don't care if I'm banned. It's like, what the hell you guys want? This is how I do things. This is what everyone's here for. Fuck off, leave me alone. But everyone's there clamoring, saying he needs to be deplatformed and thrown off. It's like you see him normally. It's like, yeah, he's normal. But when he's playing the game, he plays that crazy, like raging gamer, like because it's a fucking persona. It's a meme.
Yep.
He plays it. You can tell like how he's trying to get mad when like he was like getting at like he was playing with the female chick and he went off on her. You can tell it's not real, like the way he does it. Because you see it when people really get mad. There's a distinct difference between someone playing it and someone who is mad.
Yeah.
But to them, it's all one the same.
Much like Sargon, the reason why I'm here is because, the SJW has invaded my escapism entertainment.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I'm here.
We used to say it to the Afghans: "Is you made me be here."
Yeah.
I'm certain that pissed them off to no end.
And this is why you really fucking shouldn't have.
Yeah. It's like they say, they made everything political on the assumption that thinking that it would make us join them. It's like, no, dude. What it did was us join the army against them.
Just look what they did to D&D.
Oh god.
Oh
yes.
my god.
D&D.
Don't
Oh
get me
my
started.
god. They have pussified that game so much
Me
that
and
they
Fish-
want to get away from fighting monsters and they just want to do this, prom shit now.
Me and Fischozo actually have a series of streams. I don't know if they're still up.
Like I
On
remember
5th edition D&D. On what the positive aspects 5th edition had before the Wokies got it.
Mm.
And a lot of it's actually pretty cool. And then the Wokists got it, and no more alignments, essentially.
Yeah.
If you don't calculate THAC0, you're a pussy.
Yeah, which is just fucking awesome. Just, good guy orc, I guess.
Well, I like the idea of, yes, you can do that where, and this is the thing that pisses me off. Everybody has house rules, right?
That used to be a house rule.
Yeah, exactly.
We have a good guy orc because he's part of the story.
Yes.
Not because we can't judge him. Just
adding nuance into the game is the job of the fucking dungeon master.
Yep.
Exactly. Nope.
Yeah.
100%.
Who did we leave?
By lightning. Lightning had to go.
Lightning. Okay. By lightning. Sorry, man.
Hey, but no,
I
like,
didn't see your
like how
comment.
you said there, like nuance, whatever. Like the one YouTuber Dev, Short Fan Otaku, he did a gaming stream. I think it was him, Sargon, and I believe Count Dankula and one other person. I think it was Arch.
Yeah.
So it was the four of them.
So
and they were playing
most bad people on YouTube.
Well, three of the most. Number four, I'm amazed he hasn't been touched yet. But yeah, he's somehow he's untouched.
Yeah,
he'll join that clip. So.
Dev is actually pretty untouched, unlike Arch, Dankula, and Sargon.
Yeah, Dev is amazing. But no, so you know what the role play they were doing? They're doing a role playing gaming stream. It was for Blood the Masquerade. Yep. They were playing communist werewolves versus Nazi vampires.
Oh Jesus.
So you have them basically playing racist werewolves against fucking the Nazi vampires as commie. No, I'm sorry. I got it mixed up. Of course, they wouldn't play the fuck out. They were playing the Nazis exterminating the commies. That was the entire stream. But it was like, and it's funny because I looked at it, I was like, that's what it used to be. It was like you couldn't do that outrageous, over the top, silly shit where it's like, hey, I'm gonna go around pretending to be a Nazi. We're like making all the offensive line, because it feels like a fucking caricature. Because
and as long as everyone knows it's a joke, it's fine.
Well, it's the fact that if you see it in reality, it's like when it was one of the few times I had a real conversation on Twitter. Was a guy brought up Mel Brooks and some of those movies, and there was a black kid in there who's like, I don't like those old movies in the 80s because how they might tackle race. And I told him, and it was one of the few moments I realized I can actually talk to this guy. So I told him, I was like, look, watch Blazing Saddles and you'll understand how it handles race. I said, you don't need to make fun of race. You don't need to point out that it's stupid. Let the guy be racist and realize how it in itself is a caricature, that
and
it
then
is
make fun
stupid,
of him
that it
for
is
it.
funny.
Yep.
You don't have to point that. And I got a message back a week later, and the guy was like, "Oh my God, you're right." And this was a guy who could have became a leftist. Instead, I managed to actually red pill the guy because I talked to him a bit, and I was like, "Holy crap, this guy! If I didn't get to you, you were probably going to end up being a leftist by now, or if not another week or two." Like that. That's what amazed me. But it's like it's because I remember, as I said, the toxic game lobbies. I mentioned this before.
I'm literally triggered right now.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put up a picture.
Orcs are racist because
according to D&D.
mirror minorities in our world, and people who say that kind of shit are fucking racist dipshits.
Who looks at this and thinks black person?
I know. That is so retarded.
Yeah,
I just want to know what.
Me and Fizz were talking about that not too long ago.
This is such a badass picture, by the way.
It was just what?
What are the pronouns of that character Mr. TickleTrunk has up?
Zug and Zug.
Zug and Zug. Got it.
Yes.
All right, I got two super chats I can take care of real quick. Digital Remnant for $5. Some polls have cognitive dissonance on age. 18-year-olds can go to war as saw gunners, but not buy an AR. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Kids choosing gender and view drag during third period. Yeah, that's we got some serious fucking priorities wrong right now.
People need to start bringing up the age of consent
Brent,
over and over again and why we have it.
I will say, friends, don't let friends fire the saw because it's a piece of shit.
Parmark Vulcan for $4.99. How you doing, sir? Comics. You need to take Gary to Chacho's and have him take on the King Kong nachos and record his reaction when he sees it for the first time. I would love to take Gary to Chacho's, but we might get shot at. No joke. I mean, that is
Yeah.
It's
a shit area.
It's a shit area. There used to be a Chacho's closer to where I lived, which I would say is the safer one. But the one on God,
And the
what is
ghetto
it?
is better.
Well, it's not the ghetto. It's just it's not like a super bad area, but it's not great either. It's on I think it's on Parenvital, okay, which is
okay. So it's cartel run. So there's establishment of order, but if violence occurs, it is of the highest extreme.
Okay, so the issue is that Chacho's is one of those. They're open 24 hours, which means that they're open 24 hours. And typically, I mean, a lot of these shootings happen at night.
Yeah.
There does tend to be a degree of gang violence that happens. Like I said, it's not in a super bad area of town. It's not great. But it's not like I definitely would not walk around there at night. Oh my God, that is awful.
They're 80s
for Pride Month, right?
They found the 60 edition.
They're 80s
Oh my
words.
gosh.
They're doing a music video. Leave them alone.
Is that female Hulk? I'm so confused.
Oh my God.
I don't get it. I mean, is there a donkey punch going on in there somewhere?
Probably.
My God. Oh my.
It's awful.
I mean,
look at those
talk
scratch
about
marks.
getting some teeth.
Yeah.
With a job. Oh my God.
Yeah. God.
So, that'll put some dents in your danger. Yeah.
We got a
like it
sneak
rough.
preview into the
There we are.
There's the
Oh God, no!
Worse.
Oh my God.
Oh God, no.
And the difference is this is 80s gay orcs.
Others, get the flamer.
That's not 80s gay. That's 90s
the
gay.
heavy flamer.
Okay, they have two left. The bad one on 410 and Parenvital. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Other is at I-10 and Callahan, right down the road from where I live. Okay, I didn't realize that there was one off of Callahan. Okay.
Okay, you have an option to take them now.
Yeah, but yeah, the one at Parenvital is fucking bad.
What the duck was that?
Also, I just I just got
He
to
actually
say,
posted
No
that
groomers.
Gilded. I had
No
I
groomer.
fucking
grooming.
laughed my ass off looking with that. Oh my
Oh
God.
shit, we're canceled. Damn it, Reuben.
It's on
I
Tuesday.
am
Natural
back.
and it's beautiful.
From a high.
hey, wait,
do
wait,
not
before I
do
forget.
more. No more.
Yeah, hey Reuben, before every action, did you guys see that picture that went viral on Twitter of the guy painting his house a rainbow? And then the Pride organization came in and said, you did it wrong. And the guy says, fuck your pride. I just like a rainbow. Notice how there's 3 extra colors that originally belong you cut from your flag. And then the rest of the activist community went against that organization because they says, excuse you, that pride flag is 1 month out of date.
this is how we do it.
So I was like, see the guy somehow he just liked the rainbow genuinely painted his
we
house
can't-
and started a gay civil war amongst the
It's like they
activists.
own the rainbow now. Yeah, really.
Yeah. It was just so funny just seeing the guy come out literally says, fuck you, I just like the rainbow. Fuck you,
We already
LGBT. I was
answered
like,
this one, JS. We answered this
Yeah.
one like an hour ago. Yeah,
The
I think
answer is
we
no.
all
I
voted,
was
and the only
listening
one
in
who
the
would live
car.
would be Pope.
I was listening in the car when you were talking about that. My answer would have been, it depends whether I'm a zombie or not a zombie.
I think the parameters are starting with not a zombie.
Well,
Since if
My
there's a
coworker-
zombie, I've won already.
my question
hey,
is,
my
especially with the
coworker-
media, how can you tell the difference?
True.
True. Hey,
I
my
would
coworker-
not survive the zombie apocalypse, but Mrs. Flu would because she's quicker and a better shot. So
So she'll
She
trip
can
you.
run faster than you.
she can run
As a-
faster than I can.
Well,
So
it was
As
funny.
I
she could
said
also
to
wing
your-
me.
as I've said to your wife, Tox, I can fix that.
The thing I think is funny. There's like this one episode of Walking Dead, which was the crazy lady with the head in the bag. Basically, that would be my wife, and the head would be me. That was our joke. She's like, "That's how I would turn out."
No, I mean, she's not.
I think I'd be okay.
I think, like I said, I think I'd do okay for a bit.
I still find it funny that the military actually has a handbook for dealing with a zombie apocalypse, and they have 7 types of zombies in there. I told my coworker, he didn't believe me, and he looked up. He's like, "Holy crap, they're real." I'm like, "Yeah, they have 7 types of zombies for all situations. They have the biological kinds where it's some sort of virus. They have the satanic kinds where there's from hell. You got to get the holy water and the priest out with wooden stakes to deal with those. They have like all the various ones. And my favorite is the last one, which they confirm are real, zombie chickens."
See, it's not the zombies I'm worried about. It's the surviving humans that I'd be more worried about.
Well, that's like the point of zombie films, right? The zombies aren't the threat; it's the survivors.
We're the real assholes.
Yeah.
Well, if you're in a zombie apocalypse, you want to be patient zero, that super zombie in the beginning, because at least there's always some sense of self to like a very primitive degree, and usually you end up just killing all the survivors and eating them.
Also, what kind of zombies are we talking about? Are we talking about the ones that move fast or the ones that move slow? Like, what kind of zombies?
There's only one kind of there's only one kind of zombie, and that's slow and shambling.
Okay.
Right, the Living Dead type zombie.
If it's the World War Z,
they're straight from hell.
We're fucking dead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's World War Z, I don't know. I couldn't handle that one.
Well, that started with the fucking reboot of Day of the Dead or Dawn of the Dead with Zack Snyder, where he made them run.
I thought that was World War Z.
No, I think
it started with Zack Snyder.
Oh, okay.
Everything is his fucking fault.
Yeah, wait, isn't that
all good, dude? All good. We'll talk about it again because it's actually fun to talk about. But it happened in Dawn of the Dead, the movie with Ving Rhames. I actually liked it.
That was actually a good movie.
But I'm not a fan of fast zombies. I prefer my zombies to be slow and shambling and in large numbers.
Zombies are supposed to be
shit! Yeah, 28 days later. Okay, is not as much as a zombie movie. It's not a zombie movie.
Yeah,
but it kind of is a zombie movie in the sense that you have mindless, crazy people trying to kill one another because of the rage virus. They're technically not undead. That's what really a zombie is. But yeah. I mean, I get your point.
Like even that's why I said the military even has them classified correctly, because they're like, technically those zombies that are running all of those cases they're man-made, they're cybernetic zombies, they're a virus gone wrong, or a disease like mad cow disease turning people rabid. And they said then they have the actual Day of the Dead, they're rising from the grave, they're quote shambling corpses from hell, in which case they're like, yeah, you're gonna need. It was my favorite because it's actually in the handbook. They showed the passage where we're going to need chaplains and holy water and possibly wooden stakes, atheists most affected and vulnerable.
Crap, it jumped. False. Fast zombies were first introduced in Return of the Living Dead. Fact check. I don't remember them being fast in Return of the Living Dead.
God damn it, I have to watch it.
I think 28 days later is what started the trend and kind of screwed up the zombies.
Well, okay, so John Penn says that Zack Snyder took it from World War Z, the book.
Well, it was the early 2000s. The zombies could run now.
By the way, is written as a satire, because if you know who wrote it and know who Sonny is.
Yeah, I heard about it. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've actually talked about the book. But I remember it being kind of a satire, and it was one of those books that's like, I can't believe they adapted that.
Well, I mean, you know who wrote it, right?
I forgot. It's been a while.
Max Brooks.
Mel Brooks' son?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
that's right.
So like,
it's been a while.
Tongue-in-cheek thing.
Yeah.
But I actually really like the book in that it's written from like a bunch of different survivors' standpoints.
I prefer zombies from the bar.
I do too.
Okay, you're at the
drink. Zombies a drink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a rather
It's
stiff
a drink
one.
that makes your legs go to sleep while the rest of you is pretty okay.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the song from the Cranberries.
No, Zombie.
Yeah.
That was a very popular song back in the day.
It was actually a fairly decent song. Too.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yep.
Cranberries were actually pretty decent.
Stunning and brave they were.
Hey,
Yeah.
they were a better Irish band than U2.
And better looking woman with a shaved head than Sinead O'Connor.
Oh man, Ireland has not had the greatest track record with music. They have literally U2, the Cranberries, and Sinead O'Connor. Oh no.
Oh, this is funny. Bonehead, hot take. Alex Jones was full of shit. Comics Vision with shades look more like Serge Tankian.
Serge Tankian.
Okay, from System of a Down than Rob Zombie. I don't know where you got the Rob Zombie thing from.
Right.
I didn't. I mean, I don't have long hair anymore. I did at one point, which is funny because some people.
Because you were leaning back in your chair, your hair blended in with your chair, and like with the shades on, it's like you could be mistaken thinking he's got.
Okay, well, this is actually my leather jacket, so that's probably why he thought I had long hair. But yeah. I thought that was funny that he was calling me Rob Zombie. It's like, I'll take the compliment.
Which horns up for the fucking jacket.
Yeah. I thought you looked like a gay Terminator, which you were doing for Pride Month. And I was like, look, it's the Terminator.
At least there were no tiny jokes.
See, look. I'm going to go off on your anus.
No.
You're fucking fired, toxic man flu. You're fired. I'm a cannon into the sun. Get to the shopper.
I will ride your bareback.
I was like, I should. No, I'm not going to.
Okay, I'm taking that down now.
Remember to use
No.
Oh no!
Not going down that road.
I had to backtrack
That Hershey Highway.
Nope.
So why did you
Oh
read
my god! Now, when you say that, it makes me think of that song by the Stormtroopers of Death. So,
You know what? I love the fact that there is an entire band dedicated to Arnold quotes.
Is there?
Yeah, they're called Austrian Death Machine.
Oh my god!
And it's fucking amazing. It's
They're so good.
It's basically death metal that's done with Arnold quotes.
That's
All of
fucking
it.
great.
The lyrics are actually really smart. It's actually really well done.
Yeah, it's really well done.
If you're gonna go for a gimmick like that, you got to go all the way and go on it like really smart.
and they sell it so well. Like their singer is actually pretty good.
And on the second album, they got a real impersonator.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Like
Austrian Death Band, or was it Austrian
Pretty
Death
much-
Band?
Austrian Death Machine, which is the nickname
Death
for Arnold Schwarzenegger. The Austrian Death Machine.
Pretty much.
What are some of their songs? Get to the
chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper, obviously. Do it.
Do it now.
It's not a tumor. That would be a good song.
Apparently, J.S. Pena doesn't like my impressions of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You can't be me. I'm me.
Do I ever do that again? I can't do it now.
Consider this a divorce.
Consider this a divorce. Get to the chopper.
Who is your daddy, or what does he
This
do?
is probably your cleaning duty.
Dude, that is actually, I think, one of Austrian Death Machine's songs is "Who is your daddy and what does he do?"
Yes.
Who's your daddy? What does he do?
Oh man, that band is fucking phenomenal.
It sounds like
musically it's fucking great too.
But the best track is when they ask him to sing the T2 theme. He's like, "There's no words. How do I? How?" And he starts like, "Da da 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 da."
Oh God, no! Please go do it.
Do it.
My pot-belly
You just pull that up right now.
And then the police chief got us saying, "We love our Somalis. We love our Muslims too. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet."
By the way, I left a green screen version for people who actually want to do whatever they want with it as well. So have fun.
Oh my god. That's
You are a
brilliant.
beautiful,
God,
beautiful
now
human being.
Good stuff,
thank
mate.
you.
Good stuff. Yeah.
That shit's
Yeah, I gotta
hilarious.
just bring this up, going back to the whole we were talking about the movies earlier, because one thing I think what it is that's driving a lot of the essentially them destroying, like breaking down Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, is take away the woke aspect of it. I think on a business sense is because you know it's how they are. They love to reboot the old IPs, try to remilk them. But the thing is, when you have something as big as Star Wars or Lord of the Rings that have held up so well, you can't really reboot it. So I think part of it in the studio, at least in the business side, I think there's like a drive there to, in a way, break these down to a degree where it allows them enough leeway where they can finally go in and reboot an entire series out of it. Like, oh, we can now remake the OG trilogy. We can remake freaking Lord of the Rings path again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's one thing that both
fix
Gary
it.
and myself have pointed out over the years is I am convinced, and so is Gary, that Disney is going to remake the original trilogy.
Yeah, it's like
gonna happen.
That's inevitable.
Yeah,
It's
that's why I say,
gonna
like, take
fucking
out the
happen.
woke stuff, the whole fixing it, just on a business point. As you see, they reboot all these different movies, whatever. It's like, why wouldn't they want to reboot these two trilogies? And one of the ways to do it is like, well, we got to get down the forever, but like take away some of the shine. Like, we don't want to crater it completely, but take away enough shine that if we reboot it, it doesn't automatically fail out the gate because the old shit just overshadows it that hard. So I think that's what it is, just on a business standpoint. And then you add in the woke shit where like you have the people in there saying, wait, you're going to reboot it? Oh my God, this is our chance to fix it and change it and make it proper.
Yeah.
Then you have those two forces that they're essentially walking parallel lines working together, not intending to, but that's what they end up doing. And I think that's the end goal. It's like, as even you said.
All right. Joe's for $4.99. Subscribe Star members. Yeah. Subscribe Star. It's like Patreon. And basically all the suckers here. I mean, panelists. Subscribe Star members. That's like an old school comics division right there. Well, because there was one thing when I was advertising it, I was like, it's like I'm trying to remember what it was. One of the endings I did. It's like all the suckers. I mean supporters. Yeah. So anyway, that's the joke. Never been there. Heard I might want to put up my comic on it though. Yeah. Well, it's Subscribe Star is a little bit different. It's basically, like I said, it's like Patreon. Indiegogo, I think, is probably where you want to go for your comic. America's Time Travel, Parrot, the Privateer.
Pirate Patriot.
Excuse me, Pirate Patriot. God, I can't fucking read.
Good job.
Yeah, thanks.
Where's Corey when we need him?
Probably asleep.
I was I think he's probably taking a nap.
It is very late.
But yeah, Indiegogo, man. Indiegogo is probably the better place to go for crowdfunding.
Just don't use
your comic.
Patreon, please.
Patreon is great for like YouTube. Because or anything where you can like provide like additional content or whatever. It's that's really what it's for.
Patreon only works if you're not already on a radar.
Because like if you see what I'm hearing in the art community, especially.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yep. But no, if you hear in the art communities, I know they have to get the worst of it. Like they've literally have made requests. Like there's this one guy where they were going through his art and saying, this is too sexualized. We don't approve of this. This is too problematic. And the guy was like, fine. He pulled a bunch of his art down. But then they came to it. We also need access to your Google Drive to make sure the rest of your art is safe on your computer and hardware and cloud. And
fuck off.
Like that is, they have been, it started with him, but now I've been hearing it's been hitting more creators. So it's you have to be very careful with Patreon.
It started like with people like Lauren Southern and Sargon.
Mm-hmm.
Where they were saying shit that people weren't happy about.
And Owen Benjamin as well.
Owen Benjamin was the original one.
Yeah.
And then Carl Benjamin kind of overshadowed it, otherwise known as Sargon for everybody who doesn't know him by that name.
I like what Sargon's done with Lotus Eaters.
Dude, Lotus Eaters is great. They make great content.
That's what they need to do, right? I mean, he basically created his own platform at this point.
Yeah. And
I mean, did they have like their own channel on YouTube?
Yeah, and
it's been a while since I've watched the Lotus Eaters.
Honestly, I would heavily recommend it. I'm a subscriber.
Sargon, he's a smart guy, and he was literally like everything that they hated. He's basically working class, educated himself, got into philosophy, and was able to kind of go toe to toe with them. Right?
Yeah,
he was the working man,
and is able to argue with them on their own level.
Yeah.
And he actually researches leftist thought so he can argue against them on their own level.
Yep. Yeah.
It's like why I say him and Dev and like the guys in those spheres. Like if you look at all of Dev's videos, like every video he is like a fundamental breakdown where it's like, here's the core philosophy, left or right. This is what it is, period. So there you cannot debate it, period. And he moves on from there, basically show you like, and this is what's going on based on this core philosophy and what they've done to either twist or bend it or whatever for whatever faction's going on. Like when he made his video last year about how the gay pride flags they're erasing the rainbow, because he even called it back then. He said they want to get rid of gay people because gay people have been accepted and they cannot tolerate acceptance. They need to be on the fringe.
Well,
they exploited the T and they added the Q and added the alphabet at the end.
The reason why they're doing that is it's the same issue with feminism, right? It's like you got what you wanted. Well, what do you want now? It's pushing, kind of rolling the ball even further and further and further. It's like if the whole point of any organization like that should be to put themselves out of business. But exactly. The issue, it's like the same thing that we see with fucking Jesse Jackson and the other shithead.
Al Sharpton.
Sharpton, right?
Yeah.
They don't want racism to go away. They just want to profit from it. That's what a lot of
living.
They lose their job.
Yeah. It's the same thing with Ibram X. Kendi. That dude doesn't want to fucking solve the problem of racism. He wants more racism because that's how he fucking makes his money.
It's not just that. Ibram X. Kennedy is a legitimate racist. Period. He's essentially like a Klan member, but he's black. That's the thing with Ibram.
It's the same thing with fucking what's her name, Robin DiAngelo. She doesn't want racism to go away. She just wants to write books. She learned that she could extort a lot of money from corporations by rolling in there and saying, we need to talk about white fragility, and you need to take this to your employees so they can go and address their white fragility. She is absolutely a self-admitted racist.
She started differently.
That's the most shocking part. Like I want to ask all these companies, you have a person who's a self-admitted racist. It's like someone coming in a Grand Clan Dragon outfit and saying, I want to teach you how not to be racist. Why the fuck would you listen to somebody like that? She doesn't hide it. She flaunts it that she's a fucking racist.
It's fear.
And
I don't
think it's fear. It's profit, dude. I mean, legit. I mean, she wrote in her book about how she was afraid to go over to this picnic because there was a bunch of black people there. It's like, yeah, you're a fucking racist, bitch.
Let me get in one thing and I'll shut up.
Yeah, she legit said that in her book.
Yes.
And now she is basically teaching people how not to be racist. Basically, she's projecting her racism on other people.
The reason she wrote that book is because she realized she is a racist and she wanted to not be alone anymore.
Right.
So she pushed it on everyone else.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you had, in my era of the Marine Corps, the actual anti-racism, which was me and my black friend getting into arguments that would devolve into him calling me a Mick and me calling him a Spade. And then
okay, as long as you weren't going to say the other word.
I was hovering over the mute.
And then us laughing about it and going about our day because it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's the whole thing too, is that this idea, as much as the left likes to talk about nuance, they have no fucking clue what nuance is.
Yeah, it's like to go on to what MrTickleTrunk said, like how if you're a racist in this day and age, you are alone. Like let's go. Like I was playing a Titanfall 2 lobby. I mentioned this story a couple months ago. I don't know if you remember it. We were playing. We're talking shit to each other because that's what we do. We're all talking smack, and a guy hops on the mic. We can all tell he's a bit drunk. He sounds a bit like a fucking redneck. This guy was a Canadian white nationalist. And this guy started like spewing. So we couldn't believe it. We invited
most of them are really dumb.
Oh, yeah. No, that's the thing. We invited the other people in the lobby to get in here. Like someone messaged and told him, hey, we have a white national. We're not kidding. Get in this party call. So we have him in the call. All of us are in there. And we just couldn't believe the shit coming out of his mouth. Like fucking, especially when he sees like knows a bunch of us are American. He's like, you Americans, you had one job to keep them in check, and like was just going off. And two of the guys in the party is black, and then of course that's all the slurs come out. And for all of us, we're like, as I said, before this point, we're saying stupid, horrific shit to each other. They say like slurs, F-bombs, all this stuff. And this guy comes on, and we're all like, okay, it is time for the gloves to come off. And we went off on this motherfucker for a good 15 minutes. We weren't even playing anymore. Our characters are running through the game, dragging out the clock because we didn't want it to end. We wanted to go off on this guy because we're like, it's one thing to fuck around and play the caricature to be a silly, to be a jackass. It's one thing when that's legitimately who you are, because it's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Are you actually retarded? We just went on and on until finally the guy had enough and he rage quit. And then I remember because we all went quiet and someone did he literally rage quit? I was like, dude, he rage quit. And then we just started cheering, laughing. We were like, fuck it. We called the racist to bail out of a fucking video on game because he couldn't fucking handle it. We were just all felt like we were the proudest motherfuckers on the world there.
That blows my mind is that they basically banned Sargon from Subscribestar from a year-old live stream where he basically called a bunch of alt-righters the N-word because that he basically
that was Patreon, not Subscribestar.
Yep.
Sorry, Patreon.
Okay,
I'm seeing Joe's comment about Subscribestar, and that was in my head. But sorry, Patreon. And it's like, dude, he was legit mocking the racist, and you're fucking booting him for that.
He was speaking their language so they would understand him.
Yep.
Because he was actually reaching like. I've de-radicalized 2 people from the actual alt-right. And you have to get into the mud with these people and speak their language or they will not listen. And you
have to talk to them in language they understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have to talk to them and make friends with them. Like that's why I put up Daryl Davis.
Mm-hmm. He's kind of lost the plot recently a little bit, though. But I mean, I agree. But if you saw him on Tim Pool's show recently,
he's speaking about something he doesn't understand.
Yeah,
he's drunk. He's drunk the Kool-Aid in a lot of ways.
Yeah, he has. I still respect him. I respect him for what he did.
Always respect him.
The problem was that Tim Pool doesn't know how to just. He's not learned enough to be able to speak. Simply enough for someone to understand.
Yeah.
And I think Tim did a huge disservice by not researching and looking at the stuff first and just sort of shooting. His show is off the cuff, right? So
yeah,
it's to be expected stuff like that will be happen.
And that's something I love being as a metalhead, especially with this platform, is we get to tell people what metal is and what it's about. And it's basically like, we don't give a fuck where you come from.
Well, that's how a lot of like subcultures are, though.
As long as you're down to bang with the rest of us.
Hello.
As long as you're down to fucking mosh and throw down with the rest of us, you're in. Like, nobody cares.
Darius, you've been so quiet. Sorry.
I'm a good listener.
Yeah, but talk, asshole.
It's like whenever it shows up, Darius does like 5 words and that's it, the entire stream.
Yeah, it's like listen to ventriloquist yell at his puppet. It's like, talk, damn you.
No, dude, it's like I just realized all of us have been talking except for him.
My name is Darius. I'm just very happy to be here. I'm so glad.
I'm very proud
MrTickleTrunk.
to be here this month, and I'm proud to be a member. I'm proud to have friends like these.
The sons of.
He's feeling proud during June.
I mean, the rumor that Darius is the offspring of a robot and a former African American in space who lost a ship called the Millennium Falcon is totally not true.
True.
Totally not true.
Oh, yeah. because
yeah, I know it took a while to get around to it. I was trying to make it funny, and you just didn't say
'cause
anything, and I'm like,
he's a what they called on Futurama a robosexual.
and I am a robosexual phobe.
Oh, yeah. I just love it how we were able to
So
call out
toxic.
all those years ago that hey, there are some holes. There are some holes here to exploit if you're not careful. And here we are, modern day, and they're all being exploited. It's like, really?
I don't feel exploited at all.
I learned how
Dude,
to
I love
exploit
these
holes from
boys.
Toxic
They were a
Panther.
fucking awesome punk band.
Yeah.
I've been the one doing the exploiting.
All right, Joe's for another $4.99. Members on Nerdrotic and Ricada will get on Subscribe Star so I can join, and we'll bend your ear at the meetup. Drive over from Shreveport. Wow, yeah, that's not too far.
Yeah.
For
Joe,
Hail
you'll
on.
be pulling the ear because you'll be standing above him, not below him.
Remember, I'm half a micron tall, so
You just get smaller and smaller.
That's why he doesn't get stuck in the
joke.
machinery.
Yeah.
It's like the whole thing is like I keep getting smaller and smaller because I went from being just short to being a midget, and it's like, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna roll with it and make myself even smaller and smaller.
By next year, I'll be measuring you in plank units.
Yeah.
You started out my height. Now you're microscopic.
Yeah.
I was actually
the movie
surprised
Inner
how short.
Space.
I was actually
Yeah,
surprised
there
how
you
short
go.
Ryan is in person.
What's that?
I was actually surprised how short Ryan is in person.
Yeah, Ryan and I we're about the same height.
Yeah, and I'm like 6'2", so I figured he was tall. So when I saw him, I'm like, wait.
I didn't
like
think
little.
Jeremy's pretty tall.
Jeremy's my height. He's 6'2".
Yeah. He's not as tall as Drunk 3PO. Drunk 3PO is tall.
He's only like 6'4".
He's 6'4".
Yeah, but I mean, still. I mean,
Well, again, I'm 6'2" as well. For me, anybody that's less than 6'2" is short. So it's like you're all tiny.
But at the same time, everyone like builds Drunk up like he's this giant of a man, and he's only a little bit taller than me. So.
Well, it's because he's surrounded by scrawny people. That's why.
I guess. Well, I mean, what he's like. If he's 6'4", I mean he's like 6 inches taller than I am. He's like half a foot taller. Yeah. So yeah, he's pretty fucking tall to me.
Well, yeah, but to me, he's like
Yeah, he's like a couple inches tall. Yeah. So anyway, all right, guys, it's 11:30. I think it's time to wrap things up. Let's start with Reuben Christopher Haynes. How you doing, sir?
Thank you very much for having me here. I'm doing okay. So I'm just gonna be reaching out to a few people. I need to make. I have put something out on not Facebook, YouTube in regards to what's going on here. I'm just battling this condition, and I'm gonna reach out and talk to somebody because I'm having issues today. It's been really rough, and it's getting rougher every day. But I'm really happy being here. It makes me happy. Listen to everybody here. Keep me laughing. Happy FNT 200. You're going to be growing too, comics. And it's going to be really good here, and everybody here is going to be really good. Just remember, all the stuff that's out there, it's rough. But again, keep the fight. I'm going to fight. I'm not giving up. You don't too. So because again, there's more of us out there that can believe in good content, good character, and being good to your fellow man. So. Thank you very much.
I agree. And damn it, Terminus, you show up when we're leaving.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm just here to
God
hang
damn it,
for
Terminus.
For
He was like, we gotta go for another
minutes.
hour.
How you doing, Terminus? What have you been up to, man?
Doing okay. I recently saw the movie Idiocracy today with a friend, and
nice.
And oh man, that was a good movie. That was pretty funny, and yeah, very. I can see that's becoming more of a documentary.
It sure feels that way.
It wasn't supposed to be.
Fun fact: I actually have a friend that's in that movie. He's
really?
An extra. Yeah. During the jury scene.
Nick Weiser?
What's that? No, it's not Nick Weiser. It would be funny. If you look at the jury box during the trial, look for the guy that looks like Fat Elvis. That's him. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because there was some that's you know that Starbucks owner at near the end of the movie who gets knocked out and gets his camera knocked out out on the crop field. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. He sounds just like Nick Weiser. You know. I think I just I had to. I thought it was pretty funny. You didn't.
Yeah, that guy looks like Nick Weiser.
No, I said he sounds like Nick Weiser.
Oh,
His
sounds
voice,
like Nick
man.
Weiser. Yeah.
We don't have time for hand jobs. Or was it? Or we don't have time for lattes. I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah, I said, I think he said something like, "What do I look like a pants goblin to you?" And it sounds like just like, and I thought that it sounds a lot just like Nick Weiser, like the tone of his voice, just.
I may have to clip that out and put Nick's face on that.
When did that movie come out?
You should you should probably clip that and you should probably clip that scene and play it whenever Nick Nick says something like whenever he monologues something.
Oh yeah, dude, that's a good idea. I'm sure we could work something out. We had the Legion of Memers out there. I can come up with something.
Yeah. Idiocracy came in 2006.
2006?
Release from the Kraken. Are you watching?
The Kraken is prowling.
All right. Sorry you jumped on last minute, dude. Love to have you on longer. Fuck. Where'd he go?
He left.
Yeah. Vote Metallicus.
How's it going, guys? I am currently working on an episode probably for this week with Mila to do Iron Maiden. If any of you all want to jump on that, I would be open to it because it's a huge topic and it's something I think we can all enjoy. I love Iron Maiden. They were actually the band that got me into heavy metal. So I'll be covering their good output, not the more recent stuff. But if any of y'all want to jump on that, that would be awesome. And other than that, I play games on Twitch occasionally. I used to do it as a weekly stream on YouTube, but it's become more of a as and when I feel like it and actually care enough to stream it, which is mostly BattleTech, a series I love. And me and Imperatus are actually doing a MechWarrior 5 playthrough right now that we haven't streamed because we're kind of testing it out. But it should be a lot of fun, especially if some of y'all join us.
Good deal, man. Mr. TickleTrunk.
When Reuben said he shows up here to feel better, I want to apologize. I'll be on behavior next time.
Oh, that is not the metric system, by the way.
There we go. Back to my regular self. I don't have a channel. You'll see me in chats. Say hello, and I'll give you a little tickle.
You should have a channel, asshole.
Dude, you totally should, man. You're funny as hell.
I used to stream on Twitch, but the game I used to play, it was taken over by EA, and they closed the studio in a year because it's EA and fuck EA.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
that
EA is
happens.
terrible.
I'm good at playing off of people. I'm not really good just sitting alone and talking. I don't have the gift of gab, you know.
Nah, I gotcha.
Did you ever get Chrissy on here before already?
I need to get her on.
I heard EA.
I want to get everyone on from F&T at some point.
I heard EA is is merging with Disney. Is that
oh, they're up for sale.
Oh my god!
So EA is trying to sell themselves off because they've shit the bed so hard for us. They fucked up all their IPs. They shut down too many of their studios. So they have a bunch of IPs, but no way to make them. So they're hoping that either Apple or Disney or even Amazon would buy
It's
them.
like CBS Studios 2 years ago when they put themselves up for sale and no one bought them.
Yeah, right now I think the bigger ones they're trying to sell themselves to are Disney and Amazon.
No,
but I know Apple's
fuck
also
that.
on the table.
Too big to succeed.
My God, I just realized how awesome that avatar is.
I'm so proud to be here. I'm proud to have all of you as my friend.
Jesus Christ.
That's amazing.
Do that with a straight face.
So hey, thanks for doing another one of these, and for letting me come on. And
Well, thanks for joining.
It's always fun to join you guys. Thanks for letting me, kick back and listen too, and not questioning me about it. And no, I watch YouTube all day, every day. So I listen to. I learned a lot from you, all the time. That's kind of, why I watch people, is so I can learn something I don't already know. And the people I watch, I trust to be honest. And
I try to be. I try and be as accurate as I can, right, with the information that I have. So
yeah. Well, you can't beat data.
I fucked up on my last video with not realizing that about the Instagram post from Moses Ingram, but it's like, I'll update the description. I fucked it up.
You don't pretend that it never happened, right? I mean, you corrected it. It's the right thing to do. Yeah, I don't watch people to hear what I already think. I want to know what they think. I want to know what I don't already know. So I appreciate what you do.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you appreciating what I do.
Also, Darius, you need to come on my show at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was going to say, I should be coming back soon, but I've been trying to take care of stuff and be responsible before I, give in to the impulse to begin streaming again, because once I start, I can't stop. And but in the meantime, check out Pope and that 70s rock fan and Imperatus. I know they've got a lot of stuff going on. It's good stuff.
We've got a lot of fun content coming up too.
Yeah.
No green rocks.
Hey guys, I'm Superman. If you wasn't scared of green rocks, here on YouTube or on Twitter, it's No Green Rocks. You can catch me every week on the Midweek Hump with Shagsworth and Horror Armorado with Sheepsidian, which is so much fun. Just come by, say hi, throw a hail in the chat. I just want to see everybody. And I don't know if you all can see this, but comics. See that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's nice.
Unfortunately, you're kind of pixelated, but yeah, I see Spider-Man and Superman. That's pretty badass looking.
But yeah, so thank you for having me on, and I hope to see you guys again soon.
Thanks again, man.
Also, hi, Mom.
TerminusEst.
Well, I'm not a YouTuber, but y'all can find me up on Twitter at ESC84Terminus, where I hang out with the rest of the hang out with the rest of this fellowship, and like to give my my funny takes on things, and my own little brand of and my own little brand of funny humor, or and y'all can also catch me hanging around in comic streams where I like to try to be funny and make people laugh in my super chat and send funny super chats, of course, And,
that Asperger's one was pretty good.
We
were all thinking it too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're not French Canadian there, are you?
Nope.
Well, Terminus, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate your humor. You are a funny guy, and you definitely, for being on the panel, make the live streams more entertaining with your comments, man.
Thank you. I try.
That's all we can do is try.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Unless you got anything else.
Pretty much it. Yeah, pretty much it. But I hang out in a couple of other people's streams, like I hang out in the dark. I love to hanging out in the Dark Council, like on Wednesdays, and with Jay, Drunk 3PO, and Abu Nas and the other guys, and I can be a real ride over there too.
Abu Nas is a fucking cool dude.
Yeah, they're all pretty cool. Abu Nas, Mark with a C, Damajanai, Fatal J.
Damajanai is badass too. I need to get him back on again.
Drunk 3PO too.
Yep. Yeah, they're a bunch of cool dudes.
Oh yeah, they're awesome. Yeah, and they can get pretty crazy in there too. Pretty hilarious, and I also like to hang in them Merry Mayhem streams. Although her streams and the Dark Council tend to overlap since ever since they moved the Dark Council to Wednesdays.
Right on, man. All right, Marksman, who dropped and came back.
Sorry about that. I thought it was the feds, and I was just some of Nick Ricada's family walking by. Oh, good. But you can catch me. I do run a small gaming channel. I pop in and on every now and again. Gentleman General on Twitch. Everyone will stop by. They're getting my streams. I play a variety of different games there, from shooters, RPGs, strategies, and so on. Before I go, I just want to say is like, look, we're looking at bleak times ahead for at least for a lot of our franchises. Best to learn to let it go. Focus on what you have. Don't let them taint and destroy that for you. And in the meantime, to go exploring. Look for new niches in the meantime, because eventually we will get this shit back. But don't let them destroy your love for the past by tainting the future here. Let them burn it down. If you can, assist them in the process. And then once they're gone and scavenging, we can always rebuild from the ashes. Because that's the thing with a fandom. As long as the fans remain, the IP can always be reborn.
I agree with that. It's just going to take time, and it may not happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
yeah.
So
I'm really hoping Disney just crashes and burns to the ground, and
that would be wonderful.
And by the way, Idiocracy really also just really
such an underrated movie.
really
It's
real.
become a
I like how
documentary.
Idiocracy addresses the degradation of entertainment. It's like pretty
Ouch,
much
my balls.
Yeah, it's all turning into becoming ass right now. Yeah,
It's becoming true, which is the most horrifying thing I could.
Yeah, it's coming true for all the wrong, let's say all the wrong reasons, but like there is any right reasons for that. But anyway, folks, thank you, gentlemen. I do appreciate the support. Chat, I appreciate you guys as well. Thank you for the super chats. We are certainly living in interesting times. If you have not thought about prepping, now is the time to seriously consider it. Please do. Because they are predicting food shortages and not being hyperbolic. This is something that even the media is saying.
Or start measuring your neighbors because you may have to eat them.
I would rather you not eat your neighbors and start stocking up on stuff. Stock up on water, food, canned goods.
Yeah, that advice is for the city folks.
Get a garden if you can. Seriously, I'm not saying this. To be an alarmist. This is something that things are being talked about. Even the mainstream media is picking up on. It's not a bad idea to prep. I just want to make sure that if things get bad, that we're all taken care of. And even if things don't get bad, you just have extra stuff on hand you can eat later.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, everyone. If you want to learn more about prepping, check out City Prepping. He's great. I highly recommend his channel. There's another one I started watching recently. Those are some people I'd love to get on a stream and talk prepping with. But
only you had somebody that was working to try and do that.
Yeah, well, yes, we do have somebody.
Oh, guys, you know, all things considered about these days, it's I really I'm still living at home with my parents, you know, and I really wish I've been living with regret for the past 2 years, it's been such a rough wake up call to me. I really wish I've gotten more independent when I was younger, you know.
I get that, Terminus, but I think right now
plus my parents,
you're probably in a good place being with your family.
Well, yeah, but my parents they have very different views from me. They are like their politics are like they have like
they're drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, pretty much
Yeah,
pretty
but the
much.
thing here is, when it comes to family, you just have to. All you need to do is be authentic and be loving. It doesn't matter. Politics aside, because again, when things go bad, politics goes out the door. Family blood is thicker than water.
This past year, they were trying to talk me into getting the coof jabs, but I just stood my ground, and they just had to respect my decision not to get it, you know.
That's good. I mean, it's good that you stood your ground and not let them talk you into it.
Yeah,
also,
no, you're gonna get into some arguments.
Not just not just my parents, but everybody. Like pretty much everybody in my family has taken them. You know.
Well, I mean, what can you do, right? The only thing that you can do is the only thing that you have control over is your actions. You can't control other people.
Yeah, just let them know they can do what they can to keep themselves space. You love and respect them regardless. Just ask them. Just say, "Hey, respect.
The only thing you can do is
making the
ask
smart
questions.
decision for myself because that's what I think I'm doing, and I feel confident that's what I've done."
And
That's
also,
what I do.
while I have everybody, and while we're both here, I want to apologize publicly to Reuben because when you first joined Gilded, you invited me to a bunch of servers that were basically, it was an error essentially. And I figured it was a bot trying to impersonate you.
Oh.
So I apologize. That was actually you.
No, it's fine. I didn't even know you did anything. I didn't know that anything happened. You know, again, like I say, I like these little things happen. Again, that's like a Excel spreadsheet error, whatever.
Yeah.
No, but I accelerated it to Tox and Honorata, whose server your link sent me to.
Oh.
So it was a weird thing. Apparently it would send you to the last server you were on.
Very weird.
That's weird.
It was fucking odd, but I apologize.
Okay,
so I live in I live in in the Dallas area, but I'm living right outside of I live right outside of Dallas. So I just yeah, the future looks it just looks pretty uncertain, man.
Yeah, and there is a lot of uncertainty, and that's the reason for me that is part of my motivation for prepping is because of that uncertainty. So just the only thing you can do is look out for yourself and look out for your family, man. Try and do what's best for yourself and try and do what's best for them, whether they agree with you or not, because my wife was not on board with the prepping thing, and now she definitely sees the value. She thought I was crazy for buying the ranch. And now she's like, it was funny because I caught her on the phone talking to our insurance agent saying, yeah, well, my husband bought this ranch and it's good. I'm glad to know we have it in case things get really bad. It's like, did my job.
And if you guys want tactical advice or something stuff like that, DM me.
Yeah, we'll
Gilded or whatever. I will actually answer. And
perfect.
I have real world experience with this shit. So
yeah,
I can teach you. I can teach you how, at the very least, not to be a target.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, folks. Thank you so much for being here. Good night, everyone. Good night to my wonderful panel. Hit the credits, Toxic Man Flu. Oh, shit. I didn't give you the outro.
Yeah, I'm Toxic Man Flu.
Wait a minute. Who has some advice on
around here?
Who has advice on COVID?
I have no idea.
No.
I think one of y'all said you have.
Oh no, Pope was saying he had advice for prepping.
Yeah,
prepping,
for tactical stuff. Yeah.
Tactical stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tox. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. It's okay.
Forget about my poor
producer.
producer.
I don't know. It doesn't love anymore. Monday, Orange Hat Reviews. Talk about somebody who doesn't pull any punches. It's going to be on Yelling at Parked Cars. Andy Masterson on Thursday. He's going to put some. He's got, he does all of the figures and stuff. He's going to be on Thursday. It's going to be a great show. And then Spencer Bakuli's back the Monday before the Dallas meetup. And Comics and I are working on a special guest for that tonight as well. So
wish I could meet up with y'all.
Well, hope so. Maybe
I don't have a car. It was just it's just some socks. I really wish I got all my adult stuff ready at a younger age,
Yeah. Habits, man.
One step at a time.
Exactly. One step at a time.
One step at a time.
Just be motivated. Don't let that shit dishearten you. Just keep at it.
Yep. No. That's what I'm doing. I'm not ready either. I've known about this stuff for a long time, and I'm still not ready.
Yeah.
Why? Because life has happened. And I've got hit pretty hard. Right?
Life happens.
Next day. Just keep going.
Yep.
And I'm doing this stuff with Comics now. I'm very thankful that he's allowed me to do this. And we've got some great guests. Floral was awesome.
He was.
Thursday night. He was on a stream with Scott yesterday, right? And as Reuben has said, as many people said, we just keep helping each other. We keep going. We keep taking that next step. So I'm thankful I'm here doing this. Orange Hat Reviews Monday. Andy Masterson on Thursday.
I like Orange Hat. He's a good guy.
He's really based, and I think that's going to be a great show. So everyone, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. And I guess it's just the normal live stream ending Comics to get us out of here.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, and comment. And subscribe if you're new to the channel. A huge thanks to all the Subscribe Star supporters. Without you, Comics Division would probably be crying in a corner somewhere. Well, hello there, big spenders. HMStix, Reuben Christopher Haynes, Roger the Shrubber, and Toxic Man Flu. I'm a sucker with a lot of dough. Crazy Catguy, MrGrantGregory, J.A.F.O, and David Blair. Take my money, dammit. Katina Martin, Brahmabull, Commander Ed Straker of Shadow, TerminusEst, Elagabalus, DariusM, Commenting is Dangerous, Salty Texas C, LDH27513, Subscriber number 22F2C6C3, Gentleman Mad, J.A.F.O, Death Angel's Shadow, Dexidoodle, Mech AG94, That's 70s Rock Fan, AJ Speaks, Pope Metallicus I, E. Clay, and Peter Bickford. I'll buy that for $1. Captain Trek, Cheesy Canadian, Chris from the 80s, Stand 4, John B, Colin Douglas, MrTickleTrunk, Jenna Lyn, and user C32A7350. Thank you all for watching. You are awesome.